All right, Shalom Israel. Shalom to everybody watching. ISBHPK San Antonio. We want to say shalom to all our brothers in Houston, our brothers in Norfolk, Virginia, New York, Rochester, all over Albuquerque, California. We got brothers in London. We got brothers in Guatemala. We want to say shalom to all the other viewers and listeners of ISBHPK channels. We want to say the water for listening, for coming on board. I know there's a bazillion options out there on Israelite material, and if you take your time to listen to our channel, we want to most definitely say we appreciate that. We care about edification. We care about the development and the structure of the men, women, and children that watch our channel, and we do our best to try to give as much material and quality material as possible. We're still in brand new to YouTube, not even a year yet, but we're working on it, and we're putting out a lot of classes, and hopefully they're edifying the body and the listeners. So we want to say, shalom to all the brothers and sisters that check us out. But we want to also take a moment to ask the Most High to send up prayers for some of the family members of ISBHPK, which have come down with, flu-like symptoms, just cough, cold. Not saying it's COVID, but just, and even if it is, we ask the Most High to bless them too. But, whoever has fallen ill in this season as the weather changes, the common cold is still out there. It didn't go anywhere. Flu didn't go anywhere. Bronchitis didn't go anywhere. Asthma didn't go anywhere. These things are still functioning. These things are still up and running. So we want to ask the Most High, first and foremost, to heal our brothers and sisters out there and children that may have fallen ill in the last couple of weeks, couple of months, and ask the Most High to keep fighting, keep them healthy. We most definitely are praying for those that are sick amongst us, our brothers and our sisters in our community, our Israelite community, and then also to those that are newly found visitors to our channel. We want to ask the Most High to bless them also. And this blessing follows each and every one of you that watch our channel. So we want to go ahead and say shalom. I'm Sham Shawan, and we got Marwalla right here as a reader today. We want to say the water for listening and coming out. And the topic of the class is kind of sensitive because we all can relate. Everybody might be able to relate to chemical dependency. And chemical dependency, we'll first start off with the definition of baseline. What does it mean? In the medical field, they talk about baseline. What is your baseline? Now, baseline, I'll get a definition of it. Baseline in the medical field and rehabilitation world is your normal behavior without stimulants, drug use, extreme emotions, or outbursts. Baselines can deteriorate with chemicals such as caffeine, nicotine, over-the-counter drugs, street or legal drugs, alcohol. I'll read that again. Baseline is your normal behavior without stimulants, drug use, extreme emotions, or outbursts. Baselines can be deteriorated with chemicals such as caffeine, nicotine, over-the-counter, street or legal drugs, or alcohol. So these things, these chemicals that have an impact, along with emotional instability, can play a major role in offsetting your baseline. Your baseline is your normal behavior without being induced or affected by these stimulants or these controlled substances. So that's your baseline. So in the medical world, they call the baseline your normal behavior. What would you be like without these extra inhibitors or stimulants in your life? And so what we want to go over today is looking at how what the Bible says can happen to us if our so-called baseline gets thrown off, or if we're induced by such stimulants or intoxicants. Okay, so we kind of want to start with Philippians chapter 4 verse 5. So I want to go ahead and say, and also want to say shalom to the brothers that's getting ready. We're getting ready on the 14th of September. We're going to go ahead and on Tuesday night we're going to celebrate the Day of Atonement. which is coming up on Tuesday night. I want to make an announcement. There will be no class on Wednesday of next week. So because we're gonna celebrate the Day of Atonement. Matter of fact, go there real quick. Leviticus chapter 23, and I think it's around 25.
23 and 25, right?
Yeah. Let me get it. Leviticus chapter 23.
Come.
And let's read Leviticus chapter 23, 26.
Come. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 26 reads, "And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Also on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be in holy convocation unto you." Okay,
so we got the Day of Atonement coming up. We're going to celebrate it on September 14th that night, and then we're going to go ahead and feast together to break the Day of Atonement on the 15th. We'll continue.
Come. "And ye shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Go ahead.
And ye shall do no work in that same day."
And so that same day we're going to shut down from working, and we're also going to afflict our souls. And the way that we afflict our souls for the Day of Atonement is we give ourselves no pleasure. Whether that be sexual, whether that be no food, no drink. It's a day to abstain from any type of pleasure and to cause yourself a little bit of sorrow or affliction. And you want to reflect on what you've done throughout this year, and you want to most definitely bring as much of an offering to the Most High. Now, we're not necessarily killing lambs and animals anymore, but what can we offer the Most High is some sorrow. It's some repentance for what we have done throughout the prior year. And this is what we want to come to the Most High with, is a little bit of repentance, a little bit of sorrow. We know in Psalms, 34 and 16? Read that real quick. I'm just going off the top of the head. Psalms 34 and 16.
Psalms 34 and 16.
No. 34 and 18.
Okay, 34 and 18. Go. Psalms chapter 34, verse 18 reads, "And the Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart."
He says the Most High will stay close to those that are what?
Of a broken heart.
He says that are of a broken heart. Read on.
"And saveth such as be of a contrite spirit."
So in order to really observe this Day of Atonement, the more than sacrifices and lambs and animals and oxen and goats being killed, what would the Most High prefer? He would prefer you to approach this high holy day with a broken heart, meaning willing to be led, in a contrite spirit, meaning that you have a spirit that feels sorrow or pain for past actions as to not repeat these actions. See, the Most High knows we're going to make mistakes, but the goal is not to produce the same mistakes. It's to not generate the same mistakes over and over, because that's the definition of contrition, meaning or repentance. To repent means to change completely. It's a complete change, meaning I don't do those things I used to do. That's what the Most High determines as repentance. So in this Day of Atonement, the Most High is looking for a mind frame that is looking to feel bad for what I have done as to not repeat my actions, more than he is caring about what animals you slay for this day. We know that also in Psalm 51 and 16 and 17 says what? 51.
Psalms chapter 51 and verse what?
16 and 17.
Come. Reads, verse 16. "For thou desirest not sacrifice."
So even though in the Levitical law, yes, the Day of Atonement required a sacrifice made by fire, that's really not what's going to please the Most High. The animal being killed is not going to do anything as far as looking at the Most High as your actions being acceptable for the sake of repentance or atonement, or to make up for the wrongs you've done, and trying to repair and restore what you've done in your relationship with the Heavenly Father. Read on.
"For thou desirest not sacrifice."
Go ahead.
"Else would I give it."
Go ahead.
"Thou delightest not in burnt offerings."
Go ahead.
"The sacrifices of the Most High."
So as we approach this Day of Atonement, what the Most High cares about, what he would like to see, what he would much rather see us be about, is not just the slaying of beasts, but what?
the sacrifices of the Most High are a broken spirit.
Go ahead.
A broken and a contrite heart.
Once again, same thing we read in Psalms 34 and 18. A broken and in Psalms 34 it says the Most High is nigh, meaning He's close to them that have a broken and contrite heart. So this is what we're doing for the Day of Atonement. We're trying to get the Most High to get close to us. We're trying to get the Most High to be with us and to have His presence with us. And this is the mind frame that it takes in order to get the Most High close to us. A broken and a contrite heart. Everything I've done since the last Day of Atonement, which is a year ago, if I can calculate and I can add up all the things that I've done wrong in the last year, all the times that I may have went astray, all the times that I might have been excessive, all the times that I might have been rebellious or inappropriate or just ignorant in my behavior, in my speech, I'm asking the Most High to let that go. And if you want the Most High to let it go, the best thing you can do is to approach this Day of Atonement with a contrite spirit. I'm feeling bad. I'm feeling sorrowful for what I've done. Don't just withdraw food and drink from yourself as if that's enough. But give the Most High some real, dig within yourself. Dig within yourself. Dig inside yourself. And really do a healthy inventory of where you're at and what you've done and what you know as far as guilt, sin, anything that has deterred you or detracted you from as a distraction from the Most High. Really dig within yourself and do a healthy inventory of where you are with the Heavenly Father. Read on.
God, all power, thou wilt not despise.
And if you do a healthy inventory of what you've done throughout the past year, from last year to now, and you're coming to the Most High with this type of contrition, He said the Most High will not despise you. He won't hold it against you. And that's what we want. We want the Most High to let everything that we've done go. And this is how we're going to approach this Day of Atonement. We just want to bring this out because there won't be no class on next Wednesday, but because we're observing this Day of Atonement. But let that go. Go back to Leviticus and finish that up.
God. Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 27 from the top reads, also on the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be an holy convocation unto you.
Right.
And
holy
ye
gathering. Go ahead.
Come. And ye shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
It's still a feast day. It is a feast day, so we'll break the fast with a feast. Go ahead.
And ye shall do no work in that same day.
Go ahead.
For it is a day of atonement.
Read on.
To make an atonement for you before the Lord your power.
Now, it's to restore what?
For it is a day of atonement to make an atonement for you before the Lord your power.
So all the times I may have slipped in my speech, or I may have provoked the Most High to anger, or I have turned the Most High against me with my actions, it's a day to repair me and the Most High's relationship. Now we don't want to be artificial about it, waiting for the Day of Atonement to approach and be like calling a brother, hey brother, this is what I used to do. Hey brother, I just want to let you know, man, if I've done anything wrong in this whole year, I just want to say I'm sorry and I want you to forgive me. I want you to let it go. Why am I waiting? I had a whole year to do that. Why am I waiting till the day of, the night of, the hour of, and the minute of to come back asking a brother, hey brother, I've offended you. If I have offended you, let this slide. If I haven't done this by now, I had a whole year to do it. But now all of a sudden I'm waiting till the last minute to try to get the Most High to be on my side. I should have already acknowledged that. That's what the memorial blowing of the trumpets is. It's an alarm to let you know what's approaching and what mind frame you should be in. You should already. We went over a little bit in our last piece about repairing the breaches that we have amongst each other, restoring the gaps that we have, the breakdown of relationships. If you don't see a person for a week or two, then already there could be an opportunity for sin to come in or negative thoughts to come in like, hey, this person don't call, he don't care. I ain't seen this person in a while. Maybe we're not friends anymore. All these things can come into mind with a little bit of separation from one another. So I should already be calling to mind the things that's necessary to restore relationships. Read on.
God. To make an atonement for you before the Lord your power.
Read on.
Verse 29. For whatsoever so it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day.
Now, everybody should be afflicted, because that means if I choose not to be afflicted in that day, that's me telling the Most High I didn't make any mistakes. That's me telling the Most High I'm not a sinner. That's me telling the Most High I've done no wrong. That's me telling the Most High, listen, y'all need the Day of Atonement, I don't. That's me telling the Most High some foolishness. Each and every one of us knows where we stand with each other, the offenses we cause each other, and each and every one of us knows that the Day of Atonement is an opportunity to make right with each other and the Most High. And that we shouldn't let this day slip. You shouldn't let this opportunity slip. I'll go ahead and pull what you got.
Yeah, I got 1 John chapter 1 and verse 10 right
Yeah,
now.
read that.
It say...
No, let somebody read that. You break it down.
Okay.
I'll read it.
1 John chapter 1 verse 10. If we say that we have not sinned, we make him a liar, and his word is not in us.
So that, I mean, that's just meaning on Samson's point, just far as in, if we say that, just far as in, you know, just
we don't make mistakes.
Yeah.
That I don't need the Day of Atonement. That the Day of Atonement is not necessary for me. It's for y'all. You need to apologize. I've been right. I've been good. You need to get right with the Most High. You need Jesus. I've been good with I'm good with the Most High. Me and the Most High is on point. That he said, if a man say, read that verse again.
If we say that we have not sinned,
go ahead.
We make him a liar. And his word,
go ahead.
And his word is not in us.
Yeah, that's just simply saying that if we tell the Most High lies through our
lack of admitting, our lack of admittance, our ability to admit that we make mistakes.
We're not being sincere.
Right? Enough. Absolutely. Anything else? Read on.
That was it for verse 10.
Okay, that's it. All right, let's go back. Let's finish it up with Leviticus and we get back to the class. We just kind of want to go over this slowly, slightly, because there will be no class next Wednesday. We will be celebrating the Day of Atonement. We'll be in the midst of the Day of Atonement. So we just kind of want to go over the importance of it. Read on.
Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 29 reads, For whatsoever so it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people.
And you know why? Because Romans chapter 3, I got to read this real quick. Romans chapter 3, and read verse 13.
Romans chapter 3, verse 13.
Verse 10.
Verse 10. As it is written, there is none righteous.
It says, as it is written. Go ahead.
There was none righteous.
There's how many righteous?
None.
How many people feel like that they don't need the Day of Atonement?
None.
How many people went flawless and went at 1,000% efficiency with no errors this whole past year?
None righteous.
It said there's how many righteous?
None righteous.
None is what? What's the value of none?
Nothing.
Zero. So there's no everybody. That means everybody's guilty. Everybody's a sinner. Read on.
Not one.
Not even one. Go ahead. Read on.
Verse 11. There is none that understandeth.
It said there's none that understandeth. Read on.
There is none that seeketh after the Most High.
Go ahead.
They are all gone out of the way.
He said each and every one of us have done what in this past year? Gone out of the way. Gone astray. Each and every one of us have something that the Most High can hold against us. Read on.
They are together become unprofitable.
Go ahead.
There is none that doeth good. No, not one.
How many people do good?
Not one.
It's okay. So there's no righteous and nobody does good all the time. You may have some good deeds here and there, but you're not looked at it by the Most High. The Most High said even our righteousness are as what?
Filthy rags.
Filthy rags. You're not perfect. You're not good. This is a day that you need, each and every one of us need to take full advantage of. Is this coming Day of Atonement. Read on, let that go, finish that in Leviticus.
Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 30 reads, And whatsoever so it be that doeth any work in that same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people.
Go ahead.
Ye shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever.
And this is why we still observe the Day of Atonement. We don't observe Christmas and Thanksgiving and Halloween and all these man-made holidays. He says these are the feast days and the high holy days that the Most High has assigned to us as his children in order to follow. Read on.
It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings.
Go ahead.
It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest.
So that day is constituted as a what?
Sabbath of rest.
You treat the Day of Atonement as a what?
Sabbath of rest.
You treat it as a Sabbath of rest. It's equivalent to a Sabbath. All right. So no pleasure, giving your mind to the Most High, and think about what can you do as far as to make up for what you've done wrong. Read on.
God. And ye shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at even. From even unto even shall ye celebrate your Sabbath.
So from sundown Tuesday night, we're going to celebrate the Day of Atonement to sundown Wednesday night. All right. So that's what we'll be in the process. We will break that fast and come back and serve the Most High that even with the feast. You know, eating together, restoring in the hopes of restoring the relationships of one another, having the Most High hopefully be accepted, having our actions be accepted in the eyes of the Most High. So we want to just kind of get that out of the way because that's coming up next week, and we won't necessarily be here in class to go over that. But we will be also observing the Feast of Tabernacles this month as well, starting on the 19th to the 26th. We'll discuss that and have class in preparation of the Feast of Tabernacles and the symbology behind it. What does it mean to celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles? We're going to have class on that also that following week. So back to the original point. Let's go to Philippians chapter 4 verse 5. But how we started the class is about chemical dependency. And what we started with was the definition of baseline. Baseline, I'll read it one more time. Baseline is your normal behavior without stimulants, drug use, extreme emotions, or outbursts. Baselines can be deteriorated with chemicals such as caffeine, nicotine, over-the-counter drugs, street or legal drugs, or alcohol. All these things can change the quality of person you are. All these things have an effect on the normal attitude, the normal behavior, the normal thought process that you possess. Meaning any one of these circumstances, these inhibitors, can change your natural behavior. All right? Any one of these can change your natural behavior. So, some of us have or do drink coffee on a daily basis. Hopefully nobody's using nicotine. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully nobody's using nicotine.
You talking about that patch that people put on their
You know what? Listen, let me be honest. As Israelites, a lot of Israelites have not yet fully converted themselves. Go to Romans chapter 12 verse 1 and 2 real quick. There's still a lot of Israelites that know that they're Israelites, that still wear fringes, that still wear headbands, that still wear scarves, that still say shalom, that still observe the Sabbath, but between the Sabbaths, they got a pack of nicotine on their person. They got a pack of nicotine in their pockets, or they stash nicotine in their cars, and they're learning, but they have not yet completely learned how to transform their minds to where they're disconnected from these chemicals, which tells you on the package, smoking causes cancer. If you are pregnant, do not take these smoke or whatever it says on the side. There's always a Surgeon General warning on a pack of damn cigarettes. This nicotine has been proven to cause cancer. And so you're destroying your temple that the Most High gave you. But read that, Romans chapter 12, verse 1 and 2.
Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice.
So I'm supposed to present my body a what?
A living sacrifice.
Read on.
Holy, acceptable unto the Most High.
Who am I trying to be accepted by?
The Most High.
The Most High. So in the process of me being accepted by the Most High, there are requirements that's necessary in order to be accepted by the Most High. Read on.
Which is your reasonable service.
And that's the least thing you could do. Read on.
Verse 2. And be not conformed to this world.
And don't be conformed to this world, meaning I'm subject to the stimulants of this world. I'm subject to the chemicals of this world. I'm addicted to the things of this world. He said, be not conformed to what?
This world.
This world, or the things that this world provides me to make me feel better, or to take away my anger, or to take away stress, or to calm my nerves. Because these are the excuses that a lot of our people use. The number one excuse I can recall hearing growing up of why I asked my elders, whether it be my immediate parents, uncles, aunts, cousins, friends, neighbors, so on and so forth, why are you smoking? The number one excuse that was always given was it what? Calm my nerves. It's always an excuse. It calmed my nerves. It made me feel better. It relaxes me.
Temporarily.
Scientifically, nicotine is in the classification of a what? It's a stimulant. It actually stimulates nerves. It stimulates stress. It builds anxiety. It increases the heart rate. It increases neural activity. So it's actually opposite. It does opposite to the body what people use as an excuse to binge or to indulge. It does just the opposite. But these are the excuses that we tell ourselves that is why it's okay for me to do this. But the Bible says if I'm going to try to make myself acceptable in the eyes of the Most High, then I have to break away from and not conform to what the world has to offer me in order for me to change my mood or to stabilize my mood or to alter my feelings or to make myself feel better or to take away stress because it relaxes me. Or I sleep better, if I wake up in the middle of the night, I can't go back to sleep unless I got something to soothe my nerves or calm my nerves. Or to take this thought away from me. Or these feelings away from me. I got to relax somehow. And then the next excuse is, we all going to die. We all going to die of something. Nobody going to live forever. That's always the follow. Once you probe and attack and poke holes in the excuses that people give you, then they give you the ultimate, we got to die sometime. That's always the last result. You're not going to live forever. You're going to die of something. Yeah, but did you live to be accepted by the Most High? Did you try to not conform yourself to the things of this world and give your mind to what the Most High wants from you? Because if I'm going to be accepted by the Most High, what are the requirements? He said, be not conformed to this world, but go ahead.
But be you transformed by the renewing of your mind.
By the renewing of what?
Of your mind.
So I'm supposed to be changing my thought process about what the world provides me. And too many times, there's the thought that I can tell myself of what this particular element does to me based on how it makes me feel and the treatment that it gives me. It calms me down. It relaxes me. Read on.
That you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High.
So now I'm supposed to be able to put on what the Most High considers acceptable, which is what brings glory to the Father. Me attributing relief, rest, or comfort by means of an artificial substance is me taking away the power and the glory of the Most High and giving Him due respect for what He can offer me. Then I'm looking at this image or this item as an idol, because now I'm giving this thing power. I'm giving it power based on what I feel like it can do for me. Now don't get me wrong, the Most High did say that out of the earth He made what? Medicines, right? And He also made herbs for what? For meat. But the way that we abuse and the way that we use the elements that the Most High has given us completely takes away its original purpose. You can look at You can look at alcohol and the many, which we're gonna go to. You can look at alcohol and the many benefits the scripture says alcohol does. But do we use alcohol for the benefits that it provides, or do we use alcohol as an addictive matter to take away stress, pain, emotions, to hide, to stay numb, to not think about, to take, I don't want to think about, relive. I want to hide behind, and I'm using it as a coping mechanism. Or I'm dependent upon these stimulants. I'm dependent upon these things to give me satisfaction. So what we want to start with, let that go, is go to Philippians chapter 4, verse 5.
God. Philippians chapter 4. You got it up?
You got it. Let me
The book of Philippians chapter 4 and verse 5 reads, "Let your moderation be known unto all men."
So if I am in an environment, first of all, I shouldn't be smoking anyway, because smoking, it completely destroys my tabernacle. And that's smoking cigarettes. For you Israelites that haven't quit yet, you haven't submitted yourselves to what the Most High considers glorified and acceptable, and do what you can and to convince yourself and to fight, because I understand the addictive nature of these chemicals. See, when your body it's one thing when your mind tells you that you need something. That's a whole nother battle. That's a whole nother battle that nobody wants. It's for when your mind is convincing you that you need this to survive, or you need this to function, or you need this to be sedated or to be calm. When your body is telling you this, it's already bad enough that the body has a natural lust. But now when the drug or the chemical has become psychological and it's telling you that you need this, now you have a whole nother battle that you have to face or fight in front of you. So it's if you're not careful, any one of us can succumb and be broken down by the effects of what these spirits or what these influences are telling us, because it's coming from within. Then you have to use some real abstinence. Then you have to use some real self-control. I'm not saying this because I've never fought an addiction, because when you think about what you've given yourself to, there's a lot of things that are addictive, whether it be sports, whether it be gambling, whether it be shooting pool, whether it be bowling. When you go to Vegas, I've been to Vegas, and it tells you, if you have a gambling problem, call this hotline. That's about as best as they're going to tell you in a casino. Call this hotline if you have a gambling problem. When do you realize you have a gambling problem? When you're broke. Or you can't stop thinking about it. Or it becomes a part of your daily routine. Because now I got to stop by and I got to scratch numbers. I got to stop by and I got to play the lotto. Or I got to stop by and I got to play some numbers, some winning numbers. Or I got to stop and see what's going on. Even cryptocurrency is a drug now. Right. Even the stock market is a drug now. Because the scriptures say what? In I think we read it in Ecclesiastes 31:1. Read Ecclesiastes 31:1.
God. You said 31:1, right?
Yeah, Ecclesiastes 31:1. Read that.
God. Oh yeah, we read this.
Read
Ecclesiastes chapter 31 and verse 1 reads, "Watching for riches consumeth the flesh."
Even if I'm gambling, even if I got stocks, even if I got bonds, or investments, even if I got crypto and I got some Bitcoin and I got some Dogecoin, I got some Shiba, and I got these different coins that come out that have value that I may have put in $100 or $50 or $1,000, and I'm watching them go up and down. It says watching what?
For riches.
So what is riches? Whether it be digital riches or whether it be actual investments, whether it be the stocks or IRAs and some high risk funds or high risk investments or slow growing investments, any one of these things, whether it be chemical or wealth involved, can become what? It can become an addiction. Anything you give your mind to, you can be overcome by it. Whether it's watching TV, it can be sports, it can be whatever the hell it is. It said watching for riches does what?
Consumeth the flesh.
What does it do?
consumeth the flesh.
And that's just when you externally are watching something that you may feel like has value to you. You can easily get caught up from watching something. What about porn? How much of an addiction is, how many people battle that? How many people got that on it streamlined straight to the phone? Streamlined straight to their TV? Streamlined has it accessible in their email? And or attached to these things by different social networks and platforms. How much can any one of these things optically from your vision get you addicted and pull you into an addiction? How much more when you have a direct feeling and a chemical changes your mood and enhances your mood? How much more is it even that much more dangerous to subject yourself to something that has a physical effect on you? A physiological effect on you? How much more powerful can that substance be? And this is not even money. You can't eat money. But just the feeling that money gives you can cause an addiction. How much more an actual drug that can give you a feeling? How much more can that give you an addiction? It says, for watching for riches does what?
Consumeth the flesh.
Read on.
And the care thereof.
And the what?
The care thereof.
It's not even just the feelings that you get from alcohol or drugs or these alternative substances, nicotine, caffeine, besides the feeling that you get from them. Just the care of something too strong. I'm just caring about my money too much. Or I'm worried about my riches. I'm worried about my bills too much. I become insatiable. Or I become anal. Or I become diseased. And now I got what? A disorder. Now I gotta clean up. You can't step in my house. You know how many people got disorders because they care about something so much? They got OCD. You can't. I've been in people's house where they got napkins down, paper towels down, and under every shoe is a paper towel, and under every bucket or everything that touches the floor, they got paper towels sitting on them underneath it. They got paper towels on the counter, and they have their own glasses. They got their own glasses sitting on paper towels on the counter, and they got wallets sitting on paper towels, and it's just extreme. Obsessive. Anything can become an obsession that easily. And that's why it especially says watching for riches does what?
Watching for riches consumeth the flesh.
So whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's money, whether it's a chemical substance, all of these things can consume your flesh, break you down mentally, spiritually. Read on.
Come. And the care thereof driveth away sleep.
And it has a what kind of effect on you?
Driveth away sleep.
And it drives your sleep away. You can't sleep when your mind is somewhere else. And this is why people tell themselves, I need a cigarette to sleep, or I need a drink to go to sleep, or I need to eat to go to sleep. I need to watch TV to go to sleep. I got to listen to the radio to go to sleep. Because my mind is somewhere else. I haven't learned to use what the Most High has given me to sedate my mind to relax me enough to go to sleep. But I will use alternative substances. And these alternative substances, regardless of how good we tell ourselves that they have a negative impact on you. As great of it is to have some investments, but the care of these investments can destroy your sleep. Okay. And then because your sleep is altered, because your mind has been on what you may fare to lose, then you add in a chemical substance the next day to compensate for the lack of sleep. So now because my mind has been up and not letting me sleep because I heard some bad news or the stock market may be going down, Bitcoin is falling, I'm losing my investments. Now I stayed up all night watching this, or I've been indulging in sports or entertainment, or I've been surfing the web all night. Now I can't sleep. So now I need caffeine, an additional stimulant to offset what has taken my mind. And now, because I'm on caffeine to try to keep myself going, and I'm using this caffeine as a stimulant to fix something that I caused that was broken from the fact that I've indulged myself in something else. Now I got two problems. Not only do I got a watching for riches problem, but now I got a chemical problem that was supposed to solve the lack of ability to be comforted and consoled in my mind. How much more things that have happened to me in the past? How many times have you had these thoughts that resurface themselves from tragic moments in your life that keeps coming back like a broken record? And it's hard to let these things go. And it keeps resurfacing itself in your mind, but you don't want to think about it, but it's on replay or it's on repeat. Now, because I'm tired of these thoughts being on repeat, let me numb these thoughts and slow these thoughts down. Well, numbing these thoughts and slowing these thoughts down usually is going to come by an external force, which we'll look for in the world for a physical solution to a spiritual problem. And that's what we do as people. We look for physical solutions for spiritual issues. Yes, sir.
It's funny you say that, because there was a point in time when I had a toothache problem, and I kept ignoring the fact that I needed this tooth extracted, or it was just going to keep getting worse over time. So what did I do? I used, you know, that numbing pain, the little numbing liquid that you use?
Mm-hmm. Like Novocaine, or not Novocaine, exactly. But that's what doctors give you. But
right.
Yeah, that over-the-counter numbing
right.
medicine.
I forgot what it was, oral care or something like that.
Oral gel or
what that was telling me?
Oragel.
Exactly, Oragel. What that was telling me, nah, you good.
You can
just
make
ignore. Yeah, you got it. You going to ignore the pain. It's like how you said, just numbing the pain, but it's not helping the fact that it needs to get work done in order for me to get that bad habit or that bad pain or that bad past or that bad thought removed. What
right.
am I going to do as far as work to get that removed, rather than using something to just numb it, to just ignore it for the moment?
And now, because my solution to the pain, to the tooth pain, was use a over-the-counter substance, which was never going to actually deal with the problem.
Exactly.
It was just going to provide me some temporary comfort, never a real solution.
Right.
Short term.
Just some short-term, temporary comfort for about 4 hours, just so I can sleep.
Right.
Because that's when you want to really use the Oragel or the numbing agent. Is when you try to go. You know, it's hard to go to sleep when your mouth is on fire, when your mouth is on blast. You cool on this side, but at night you toss and turn. So you flip over, you be like, ah, man, you wake up out your sleep. So now I gotta use a quick fix for a problem that I never really looked at. What is the real solution to my issues? And that's what we don't do. That's why in this world, Esau will always give you an over-the-counter quick fix. That's a temporary solution, or it's a temporary fix to a bigger problem. It only affects the symptoms, but it never gives you the actual remedy of what your issues are. It never gives you the remedy. You never get the remedy of, let me fix this problem because this problem is causing me a lot of pain. What is my real issue? You want to turn it off real quick? So, what is my real issue? My real issue is I need to either get a cap. I need to go and get this cavity drilled out. I need to get a root canal, or I need to get an extraction. I need to get a crown. I need to go see a doctor, an orthodontist, to look at my teeth, or a dentist to look at my teeth.
Right.
But because we don't always have time, sometimes we don't always have money, sometimes they're not always available, or we don't have the insurance, or it's too pricey, then we'll get by with just these quick fix solutions that never really help us. And that's what this system in this world will always give you. You will always have an alternative to help you aid your symptoms. Even cough and cold medicine. How many of us are addicted to the chemicals, the syrup, the cough syrup, or the lean?
The lean.
How many of us are addicted to these substances that actually have no real benefit to us?
Okay.
Our people are now have so much attraction to lean, nicotine, cigarettes, alcohol. Our people look for quick fix solutions that there was no real answer for. Never from an over-the-counter drug. How many of our people rap about cigarettes, rap about weed, rap about codeine, rap about lean, promethazine, fentanyl, Oxycontin, Xanax.
Everybody about money and jewelry.
Man, you name it. Molly, man, you name it. Our people talking about it, rapping about it, singing about it, dancing about it, living a high life. What does that mean? That means you're disconnected from reality, and you're using a substance. You're using a temporary substance to fix a bigger problem. And usually, what we deal with as people is because our upbringing is so traumatic. Our upbringing in life is so traumatizing, coming from the background that we come from as people. We've been so ill affected by being dealt with wrong, mistreated, neglected, through poverty, through lack of education, lack of resources, lack of food, hefty jail time. Right there, sis. That's right. Yeah, open that door, Desmond. Yeah, there you go. You can cut the light on right there behind the door too. And there's a remote to the TV as well. So yeah, our people have been so inundated with poverty and issues, crime, abuse, neglect. These things our people deal with. So what is available, our people will look for the cheapest possible fix. When I say the cheapest possible fix, I'm talking about the corner store 40 ounce. The $1 40 ounce of bull, the $1 40 ounce of Schlitz malt liquor or Old English or Mickey's, or the cheapest damn substance you could find at the bottom of the damn refrigerated freezer.
What about energy drinks?
Energy drinks, the same thing. I'm using alcohol as a depressant or as a solution for my depression, but alcohol is a depressant. And because I'm depressed, I don't sleep good. So the next day, I'm going to energy drinks to keep me going. Now I'm living off energy drinks. Now I'm living off, you know what? It used to only be like 2 or 3 energy drinks back in the day. I remember when energy drinks first came out. You only had about 2 brands. You had that Venom, and then you had that Red Line, and then 5 Hour Energy came out. Then after that Venom came out, then after that Red Line came out, that was like the first actual energy drinks, which everybody left them alone because it was actually only one refrigerator. You always had Coke and Pepsi and Sprite and all these other choices, but everybody left. It was only 2 energy drinks. It was only Venom and damn Red Line. And then from Venom and Red Line came Red Bull. And then came Rockstar, or Rockstar then Red Bull. Then from Rockstar to Red Bull, now you got, oh my goodness, now you got a whole 3, 4, 5 refrigerators to choose from just with energy drinks that's killing hearts and breaking down nervous systems. Now people ain't drinking water no more. The water section is getting smaller. You got about 6, 7 water choices, but you got about 15 energy drinks.
Right. The Rock just came out with it too.
Yeah, that Zoa from The Rock. Supposed to be, now they got that because they know energy drinks are damaging. Now they got the healthy energy drinks. Yeah. Now you got the energy powder that you can mix with the energy drink or with the water.
They have to add probiotic on it.
Yeah, now you got probiotic energy drinks.
LeBron got one too.
LeBron, man, come on, everybody got one. You know why? Because it's big business. Because you know what people need? People are trying to use a chemical to stay awake. They're trying to use a chemical to stay awake because they can't sleep at night. Because their mind is somewhere else. Yes, if I've been up surfing the web, if I've been up watching sports all night, if I've been up listening to music all night, if I've been on Facebook or Snapchat, or if I've been up all night and my brain can't sleep, plus I got drama in my life, plus I have issues that I got to deal with as a person, whether it be I'm socially awkward, or I don't necessarily fit into the crowd. I don't necessarily fit in with people. or people make fun of me, or people they look at me different, and I'm not acceptable because I don't have what they have, or I don't do what they do, and I don't participate with what they participate in. Now I feel socially disconnected. So now I'm up trying to make myself feel better. I'm trying to do things to make myself feel better about me as a person and who I am as a man. So I'm up all night looking for a remedy because I have an inward complex about myself. So then I can't sleep. Then when I wake up in the morning, I need a coffee to keep going. That's why Starbucks will always make money. Starbucks will never go out of business. Because as long as people got problems, people are going to be looking for quick fix solutions. Give me the venti triple espresso, quadruple espresso French press with no milk, just over ice. Or give me the John Wayne.
They got all different types.
Give me the John Wayne. You know what John Wayne is? Ain't no sugar. There's no cream. There's just, it is cream. I take that back. It's just straight espresso with a little bit of cream. Hot espresso with a little bit of cold milk. No sugar, no nothing. Call that a John Wayne. Give me a John Wayne. Just a little cup like this.
They even got stuff for sickness. I remember that one time I got sick. He was like, go get you a...
I said, go get a medicine ball, man. They got a medicine ball. Listen, man, I'm going to tell you, that's green tea, so I ain't tripping on that.
Yeah.
That's green tea. Now, green tea does have caffeine in it. Now, I'm going to just break it down real quick since you brought it up. A medicine ball is Jade Citrus Mint Tea from Starbucks, and they brew it instead of with water. They steep the tea bags in lemonade, and then you add some honey to it to make it, you know what I'm saying, because you got the lemon and the honey and the green tea. That's called a medicine ball, so you can order that from Starbucks. But that's in the hopes of rebuilding your immune system with the lemon and the honey and breaking some of the mucus up, because it's a hot tea, similar to a hottie toddy that you would have gotten in the 80s. But that's more on the medicinal side. I'm talking about people drinking down heavy doses of overdosing in caffeine. That's what the normal amount of caffeine a person's supposed to have is by the milligrams. It's 8 ounces. Really, an 8-ounce cup of coffee is really about this big. It's really not. But you know what people do? People overdose in caffeine. You're talking about a grande is 12 ounces. A venti has got to be at least 12, if not 8, maybe 12. A grande is at least 14, and a venti is got to be 16 or more. And then they got the 30. If you want the real big drink, go to Starbucks and get the 30.
That's too much.
That's like, you know what? You wonder why your mind won't let you sleep. You wonder why your mind. Caffeine has a lifespan or a half-life within the body. Meaning, caffeine, once you take caffeine, nicotine, same thing, it peaks at a certain amount of time within your bloodstream. And then after it peaks, it takes so many hours for it to leave your bloodstream. So a lot of times people drink coffee around 4 or 5 o'clock at night, in the afternoon. Sometimes 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. The caffeine needs at least 6 to 8 hours to peak and start making its descent out of your body. So what happens if you didn't drink caffeine at 6 p.m. and you need still 6 to 8 hours for it to peak and then come out of your bloodstream? That means you're not psychologically gonna be able to rest until about 2 in the morning. So now your brain, you could lay in the bed, but your eyes will be open and you'll be staring at the ceiling. Then you'll be looking at your phone. Now that you're looking at the phone, now the blue light coming from the phone also stimulates your brain activity. Now I got two chemicals. The blue light that's coming from the phone. Now I got the caffeine in my brain. Now I really can't sleep. So what do I tell myself? Let me just watch some sports. Let me hit YouTube. Let me hit some videos. Let me watch some music. Let me watch a documentary. Let me check out what's on Netflix. Let me just binge. Now I'm binge watching TV because I can't sleep. I can't sleep because I'm on chemicals. I'm on chemicals and I'm on personal problems. So now I'm mixing issues. I got personal problems. I got chemicals. Now I got TV in front of my eyes. Phone. I got Blu-ray light in my eyes. And it's been proven that the blue light that comes from the LED screen keeps your brain going. Now then, I've created a monster. I've created a monster with my routine. Yes, sir.
I know someone who's like that. If they go to like a day without the coffee or any caffeine, they start having panic attacks.
Right. You know what? Because their body has already formed an addiction. The body has already built up a tolerance and a need for that drug. It's already become accustomed and attached to that drug. Now I'm having withdrawals. Now if I don't smoke, my nerves, I start shaking unless I smoke. I've made myself so sick to where I'm so accustomed to having the cigarette or the coffee that if I don't have it, I start shaking and vibrating.
You can't go without it.
I can't go without it. Now I've created a chemical dependency. Now I created a habit that was unnecessary. But I told myself that this habit was necessary. I lied to myself. People do it with, like you said earlier, about the tooth pain. Because I don't have a real solution, which is to get the tooth fixed or taken out. I'm using Oragel, I'm using painkillers. I know brothers that are popping 3 or 4 Tylenols an hour.
Right.
Destroying your liver. Destroying your liver. Breaking your liver down. Because you got a toothache that hasn't been fixed. So you make a bigger problem trying to solve a problem. And that's what you got to be careful with. You got to be careful about what you put in your body and what you're telling yourself along with what you put in your body as a remedy for your problems. A lot of people lie to themselves and say, I need this to function. No, you spiritually don't need this to function, but you created a physical addiction that your body is telling you need this to function. You've caused your body to lie to you as a man. You've caused your body to lie to you as a woman. You didn't need cigarettes. You didn't need weed. If you needed weed, you'd have been born with weed in your hand.
It came out the womb.
Weed would have been with you when you came out. Your mom's milk will have weed in it. It'll be a cigarette breast and a weed breast. Or you just 40 ounce, you got a 40 ounce breast and a cigarette breast. And you get to take your choice. But it don't work like that, does it?
No.
That sounds foolishness, does it?
No.
Because you know what you need as a baby? What does 1 Peter 2:2 say? 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 2. Read that. What does the Bible say that a man needs?
1 Peter chapter 2 verse 2.
1 Peter chapter 2, let everybody get it. 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 2. Let everybody get it. Read that.
1 Peter chapter 2 verse 2. As newborn babes.
As what?
As newborn babes.
As a newborn baby. What does the Most High say you need? As a newborn baby, from the time that you're born, do you need weed? Do you need cigarettes? Do you need alcohol? Do you need pills? Do you need mollies? Do you need ecstasy? Do you need some type of physical, chemical drug as a baby? He said as newborn babes, read on.
Desire the sincere milk.
It says stop right there. It says desire what?
Desire the sincere milk.
Stop. It says desire what?
Desire the sincere milk.
What does the Most High said as a newborn baby you need?
Milk.
Milk. You don't need 40 ounces. You don't need Old English. You don't need Mickey's. You know, I wish I would have known what I know now growing up. I would have saved myself DWIs. I would have saved myself addiction problems. I would have saved myself some failing grades, some absences, and a whole lot of embarrassment. I embarrassed myself and I've embarrassed my parents because I didn't know no better. Because I told myself I needed these things. I brought shame to my household as a young man. I brought shame to my parents. I brought shame to my family. Because I didn't look at what the Most High told me that I needed. I was too busy caught up in the music. The music told me what I needed. I followed the rappers. I followed the videos. Those are the guys that's having the most fun on TV. They got the flyest cars, they got the dopest jewelry, they got the newest clothes, and they got the finest women. And they're actors. And half the people in the video was given $25 to do the video shoot.
Yeah.
They were paid actors to do the video. But my young impressionable mind couldn't tell the difference. I thought that was living. I thought that was the life. But he said, as newborn babes, what?
Desire the sincere milk of the word.
And the milk that he's talking about is not only the breast milk from your mom. He says he's using the milk as a symbolism, as symbolic for something else. He says you should be, from the time you're born, attached to the milk of what?
The milk of the word.
Of the what?
Of the word.
The milk he's talking about is the Bible. This is what a young man or young woman should have been given from the time they were born. Not just some breast milk, or not some Similac milk, not some powdered milk, or some canned milk, or some Elecare milk. Not that damn pet milk. Hate that damn pet milk, man. Because in the projects we had pet milk. And if you ain't got no milk for your cereal, you better take a can opener and pop open that damn pet milk and pour that pet milk in your cereal. Or you got that damn dry dehydrated welfare milk that we used to also have when I was in the project. The damn dehydrated flakes. They're milk flakes.
Work for the cereal.
What is that, powdered milk? Yeah, that powdered milk. That damn milk flakes. No, man, I ain't talking about no Similac. I'm talking about milk flakes, dehydrated milk that you have to open like a damn like a baking soda box. Yeah, you pop it open like a baking soda box, and you gotta pour the dehydrated milk and put a little water with it and stir it up. And then you take that and then you add that to your cereal. Man, you better eat that cereal fast as hell. You better eat that cereal quick, cause you don't even want to taste it. You just take it. Let me go ahead and get this, or you know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and smash this real quick. You don't want to taste that.
Add some sweetener to it.
And yeah, you put sugar. You try to put some sugar on it.
It still didn't work.
Man, hey, you know why? Because they didn't give you corn flakes, and you know what I'm saying? Welfare only gave you flakes.
Flakes.
Yeah.
No sugar.
There was no sugar. They were just called flakes.
Toasties.
Yeah. And if you didn't eat it fast, it'll turn into soup.
Yep.
You had about 2 minutes to eat that cereal before it turned into soup.
Captain Vitamins and Captain.
You know what I'm saying? That's for real. But that's not what you need as a young man or young woman. He's saying what you need is what?
Desire the sincere milk of the word.
He says, and if you get the sincere milk of the word of God, it will satisfy you for all the things you lack and all the things you don't have. You don't need a cigarette. You don't need alcohol. You don't need a chemical substance to satisfy your craving or to get through the day. These are substances that companies make to make you addicted so they can keep getting your money. The cigarette company has made billions of dollars. Usually cigarette owners, for example, like the guy that owns Black & Miles, he also owns football teams and he also owns baseball teams. These individuals that sell you these chemicals are mega rich. You think they're going to tell you to go read the Bible versus go buy their cigarettes or their alcohol? Do you really think they're going to tell you that you don't need these substances? Or do you not think that they're going to advertise to you at an early age? Who remembers those pack of candy cigarettes?
Yeah, look just like black.
Candy,
Yeah.
candy cigarettes.
Like cigarillos.
Yeah, it's the chalk candy
Yeah.
that got the powdered sugar in
Fat
it,
Yeah.
and then you give it about one puff, and then you go like this, and a little puff of powdered sugar come out. Why in the hell would you sell anything resembling
Right.
something that would kill you?
Big league chew.
Didn't think about it back then.
You didn't think about it that bit, but it was subliminal.
That big league chew.
The big league chew,
Just like the
dip,
Yeah.
or the red man,
The red, yeah.
the red man chewing tobacco.
Yeah.
Big league bubble gum
Yeah.
was in strands.
Yeah.
You pick it up in strands. You open the pack up,
Just like that
and they come
stove,
up.
man.
Yeah, it come up in strands.
You took it and you put it in
Yeah,
the
and you sit it in your mouth,
I ate that shit happening.
and you put it in your mouth, and you act like you're an adult.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
look what you got, man. I got that big league. There you blow some bubbles with. I had that big league bubble gum.
It was serious. My pops, he had the real stuff, and he went and got me the bubble gum stuff.
Like father, like
And
son.
we'd just be sitting on the porch. I'd just be sitting there with mine. He sitting over here I'm just spitting bubble gum.
Puffing candy cigarettes and eating big league chew like damn red man chewing tobacco.
And I asked him one day, I was like, can I try it?
You're gonna graduate.
Can I try it?
He's gonna graduate you.
Let me try it, Dad.
And then you know what it tell you? Go and get a little sip of this real quick.
Yep.
While you're there on the porch with him,
Yep.
sip that right there. Put some hair on your chest.
Don't tell your mama.
Put some hair on your chest.
It's real.
Put a little bit of, sip that, just put a little bit of hair on your chest. What is he, you know what he's doing? And then you wonder where you get the addiction from as you get older. Wonder why the hell you spending hundreds of dollars a month on substances, on tobacco and alcohol.
Wow.
And why you got a habit now, you've created a habit that you've learned from your parents. Because you know what you did? You picked up their habits. You picked up their habits. Matter of fact, man, I don't want to go here yet. Let me not go here yet. No, I don't want to go here yet. Let's go back, finish that verse. He said what?
Desire the sincere milk of the word.
What does a man need in life?
Milk
Of the what?
of the word.
He needs the word of God. You need the word of God more than you need anything else in the world. Everything else in life is just a chemical addiction or substance that can only make you feel different for a couple of hours. But it never fixes the real problems. It never fixes the real issues. He said, desire the sincere milk of what?
The word.
And what happens if you get the word of God?
That ye may grow
Hold
thereby.
on, slow down. It said that you may what?
That ye may grow.
How does a man, if you eat food, you're going to grow if you eat food. As long as you keep eating, you're going to grow. But how are you spiritually going to grow? What did the Most High give you? He gave you food to build your flesh and to build your body up and to make your body receive proteins and vitamins and nutrients. That's what food is for. But what develops your spirit?
The word.
The word.
How does a man spiritually grow?
The word.
I grow from the word. He says that ye may what?
That ye may grow thereby.
So the number one ingredient for growth, nutrition, and health is the word of God. Everything else is a temporary fix. Everything else is an alternative, artificial solution to problems. And that's what we end up doing because we don't have the word of God. We end up coming addicted to what the world has to offer us to solve our problems. And now we're going to go here. Everybody got apocrypha?
See,
Everybody got apocrypha?
I don't think so.
Okay, pass out the apocryphas real quick.
Was that all in 1 Peter 2?
That was just, 1 Peter 2 and 2. Okay, get an apocrypha. Everybody go to 1 Ezra chapter 3. We're going to read 1 Ezra chapter 3. Tell them what page it's on. First Ezra chapter 3.
We're on page 4 on the.
Page 4
4.
in the apocrypha, right?
Yeah.
All right, now.
You said First Ezra's?
Yeah.
Okay, chapter 3 and what?
Start at verse chapter 3, start at verse 4 real quick. Whoever got it.
First.
First Ezra chapter 3 verse 4. Then 3 young men that were of the guard that kept the king's body.
So this is a story. It's telling you that the king Darius had 3 guards. These 3 guards, they were bodyguards. They were his bodyguards. But these bodyguards were having a conversation within themselves. Read on.
Spake one to another, let every one of us speak a sentence. He that shall overcome, and whose sentence shall seem wiser than the others, unto him shall the king Darius give great gifts and great things in token of victory.
So they were kind of having a competition. Each one of the bodyguards said, let's all come up with something that if the king says is the best statement, then let the king bless us with gifts, right? So I don't want to read the whole thing, but jump down to verse 9. Read that.
Verse 9. And said that when the king is risen, some will give him the writings, and of whose side the king and the 3 princes of Persia shall judge that his sentence is the wisest.
Read on.
To him shall the victory be given, and was appointed.
So they're having a competition. The bodyguards are having a competition. They said, we're going to write, each one of us are going to write a letter about what is the greatest wisdom. Who has the greatest wisdom? We're going to turn it in to the king, and whoever the king says is going to be the best, who wrote the best, wisest statement, let the king bless him. That was the competition, right? Read on.
Verse 10. The first wrote, wine is the strongest.
So the first one of the bodyguards wrote that what?
Wine is the strongest.
So what these letters are, these are 3 letters of influence. Each one of these bodyguards are writing a letter to the king, trying to convince the king which one has the greatest influence on man. So the first bodyguard wrote about wine. He said wine is the strongest influence on a man's life. Read on.
The second wrote, the king is the strongest.
And the second bodyguard said the king is the strongest. Read on.
The third wrote, women are the strongest.
And the third bodyguard wrote that what?
Women are strongest.
Women are the strongest influence in life. That was the competition. Read on.
But above all things, truth beareth away the victory. Verse 13. Now when the king was risen up, they took their writings and delivered them unto him. And so he read them. And sending forth, he called all the princes of Persia and Media, and the governors, and the captains, and the lieutenants, and the chief officers. Verse 15. And sat him down in the royal seats of judgment, and the writings were read before them. And he said, call the young men, and they shall declare their own sentences. So they were called, and came in. And he said unto them, declare unto us your mind concerning the writings. Then began the first, who had spoken of the strength of wine.
Okay, so now we're not going to read all the bodyguards' testimonies as what has the strongest influence. One said that wine is the strongest, one said the king is the strongest, and the other one said women are the strongest. On your own time, please, by all means, finish this chapter, because it's a great chapter. So write this down so you can finish it on your own. But we're just going to focus, because the topic of the class today is about chemical dependency. We're just going to focus on the strength of wine, what the first bodyguard wrote about. Now, on your own time, please finish it up. But read on.
Verse 18. And he said thus, O ye men, how exceeding strong is wine.
And now he's making his first proclamation. He's telling the rest of the bodyguards, and the captains and the lieutenants and the king, how strong is wine. He's starting off his petition. Wine got to be the strongest influence in all of man's life. Read.
It causeth all men to err that drink it.
It says it causes every man to what?
To err.
To
that
err.
drink it.
Err means to make a mistake. He's showing you that the wine, he's convinced that wine is the strongest because every man that drinks it makes mistakes from it because it has influence. That's why DWI is called what? Driving while intoxicated, or DUI is what? Driving under the influence. That's what a DUI is. Because a DUI or DWI, I'm intoxicated or I'm under the influence of what? Alcohol has an influence on you. And that's why the first bodyguard is making a statement that it has to be wine. Because how many people that drink wine, they all end up making mistakes in their life. So wine got to be the strongest.
Right.
What you got on error?
I have the definition of error. The first definition. To wander from the right way.
It says wine makes you do what?
To wander from the right way.
So instead of doing things right, once wine get a hold of you, it makes you do what?
To wander from the right way.
It throws you away off the path of doing what's right. Wine takes you away, whether it be Schlitz malt liquor, whether it be 40 ounces, whether it be some Ciroc, whether it be some Hennessy,
Boone's Farm.
You gotta say
the
the
Boone's
real.
Farm. Wow, the Boone's Farm. Man, you might as well say
Yeah,
that.
say all the
You
real.
know what I'm saying? You might as well say crazy
Yeah, that's
Horse.
wine though.
You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what I'm saying? That's that. You might as well say Cisco. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, the third one is
You know what I'm saying?
That box wine and
Or
water.
that box wine at Walmart,
box wine.
or that Tito's vodka, or that damn tequila.
Tequila.
Blame it on the alcohol. Everybody want to blame it on the alcohol. Blame it on the goose.
The
You
gin.
know what I'm saying?
Screwdriver.
Blame it on the Henny. You know what I'm saying? So we always blame it on alcohol because alcohol is that strong. It messes you up. What's the third definition of error?
Yeah, the third definition is to mistake, to commit error,
So wine makes you make mistakes. It makes you commit errors. What else?
to do wrong from ignorance or inattention.
It makes you get out of your mind. It causes misjudgment.
It says it right here.
What does it say?
It say men err in judgment.
And what does it do? It distorts your what?
Judgment.
Not only does it impair your vision, that's why people that drink, they always get hit by cars. Alcoholics always get hit by cars. You know why? Because when you're crossing the street, what it does when it impairs your vision, it destroys your depth perception. You don't have the ability to determine how far away something is from you. It ruins your perception of depth. So what you think is far away, because you're impaired, your depth perception is impaired, that damn car is right here.
Like that side view mirror.
Yeah, like the side view, things appear closer. Things may appear closer than what they are. Things may be closer than what they appear, right? In a side view mirror. So when you under alcohol destroys your ability to tell you how far something is from you.
Or you ain't even worrying about where anything is in the first place.
So you know what? This is why on the highway,
Just out.
on the road, alcoholics always get hit and killed by cars. Not always by driving, but by walking. Because they swear the car was way down the street. They didn't realize the car was 10 feet away. Because your judgment is destroyed. You can't make proper decisions. And that's just one element of what alcohol does. What about the foolishness that you involve yourself in while you're under the alcohol? He says it destroys what? Or impairs
Men
what?
err in judgment from ignorance.
And they err from judgment and ignorance. So now, alcohol has that effect. Read on in the verse.
Verse 19. It maketh the mind of the king and of the fatherless child to be all one.
It says it makes the mind of the king and the fatherless child to be what?
All one.
Yes, sir.
Do you mean alcohol or overindulgence in it?
No, alcohol. Wine. He's talking about the strength of
Do
it.
you mean alcohol or overindulgence in it?
I'm talking about the effects of alcohol.
Okay.
It takes you off the baseline. I don't know if you was here in class, but the first definition that we had in class was called the baseline. This in physical therapy or rehabilitation or in any type of restoration program, Alcoholics Anonymous, they're going to talk about your baseline. Baseline, by definition, for those that missed the definition that came in late, baseline is your normal behavior without stimulants, drug use, extreme emotions, or outbursts. Baselines can be deteriorated with chemicals such as caffeine, nicotine, over-the-counter, street or legal drugs, or alcohol. Any one of these substances can take you away from your normal behavior, from your baseline. Your baseline is your normal behavior. So all these have an effect and a reaction on your behavior. And so what the bodyguard is saying is wine can do this to you. Wine can have these effects on you. It's powerful. It's a powerful substance. It's a powerful chemical. It's not to be played with or taken lightly. So verse 19 says what?
It maketh the mind of the king and of the fatherless child to be all one.
You wouldn't know if you was talking to a king or you was talking to a fatherless child, because it ruins the perception and the judgment to where both are in the same capacity. You wouldn't tell who excels one another. It puts everybody on the same playing field. It takes away the intelligence of them. That's why in Proverbs, go to Proverbs chapter 31 verse 4. Let's go to Proverbs. Write this down. Proverbs chapter 31 verse 4. Hold where you at, Yeshua. Don't just you can sit down and write.
Proverbs chapter 31, verse 4.
Hold on, let everybody get it. Proverbs chapter 31 verse 4. Let me get it. Read verse 1.
Proverbs chapter 31, verse 1.
We start at verse 1. Read that.
The words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him.
Who taught the king?
His mother.
Who taught this king this prophecy?
His mother.
This is words of a mother's advice to a son. This is a mother's advice coming straight from a mother to a son who is a king. What did his mother advise him as a king? Read.
Verse 2. What, my son? And what, the son of my womb? And what, the son of my vows? Give not thy strength unto women.
What did his mother tell him?
Give not thy strength unto women.
Do not give your strength unto women. Who does your strength belong to?
The Most High.
Your strength belongs to the Most High. Even this mother is telling her son, don't put all your strength in women. That's coming from a mother. Read on.
Nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings.
And she says, do not give your strength to women or anything that can destroy you as a what?
King.
As a king. So what is one of she already mentioned a woman. Don't give your strength to no women. But also, don't give yourself to anything that can destroy you as a king. What's the very next thing comes out of her mouth that can destroy him as being a king? Read on.
Verse 4. It is not for kings, O Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine.
Wait a minute. He just said, she just told her son, do not give your strength to women. And she just told her son, it is not suitable for you as a king to do what?
To drink wine.
And what did we just read in 1 Ezra that wine does to the king? Yeshaya.
Verse 19. It maketh the mind of the king and of the fatherless child to be all one.
Read on.
Of the bondman and of the free man. Of the poor man and of the rich.
Read on.
Verse 20. It turneth also every thought into jollity and
Okay,
mirth.
stop right there. So it says all of it breaks man down. But especially as a king, your judgment is important as a king. You gotta be on point in your decision making as a king. Or even a young man. You gotta be able to make sharp decisions. Wise decisions. You know what you see when you in high school, you in middle school, everybody starts off dabbling. Everybody starts off experimenting. Sometimes you can see it as early as elementary. I remember I used to work at a daycare center, after school care program actually, and a 10-year-old kid, a 5th grader, 10 years old, would post up by the corner store asking for people to buy him cigarettes. He would say, can you buy me a pack of cigarettes for my mom? I said no. I didn't even know this truth, but I would still say no. Tell your mom to go buy them for herself. Why the hell you here buying a cigarette? You know, but I would see him, somebody would be a sucker, because I would see him riding his bicycle from the corner store with a cigarette in his mouth. Somebody hooked him up. But you know what? Even as early as elementary, you see people start experimenting with chemicals and with substances. Then as you get to middle school, you start seeing people experimenting with drugs, sex, alcohol, weed. Smoke this, try that. Man, I was lit last night. Oh, it ain't gonna hurt you. You ain't gonna die. It ain't gonna kill you. You just gonna enjoy yourself. Man, you need to loosen up. You too uptight. You a square. See, that's the problem. You a square little dude, man. That's the problem. You so square, man. You ain't cool. Get your square self out of here, man. All non-sippers, non-smokers. Get the hell up out of here. So they're gonna make you feel like you're not part of the crew or the clique because you don't get down with the things they do, because they're already starting to experiment. But you know what you never see? You never see the end result in high school, in middle school. That you do start to see. She's pregnant now by 15. She's 15 years old. She's on her second child. This is what I went to school with. At one point in time in the 90s, our high school had the highest pregnancy rate in the nation. Our high school had a daycare center built in the side of the school. Our high school had strollers with babies in it at certain times in the hallway. Because pregnancy was on a whole nother level. Because these kids are experimenting. But you never see the end of their life until you got Facebook. Now that we got Facebook now. Now Facebook is wonderful. Because you know what Facebook does? And it wasn't around when I was in high school. But you know what Facebook does now? I get to look back at the people that was experimenting early. And I get to see where they are now. And you know what you find out? They didn't land in too good of a spot. Or they're not as far in life as they could have been. Or a lot of them are locked up. A lot of them are dead. A lot of guys I knew died from alcohol, from leaving a party drunk, from drunk driving. A lot of my friends are deceased. A lot of them didn't make it home. A lot of them overdosed. A lot of them are overdosing because they're playing with these strong drugs. They're playing with chemicals.
Mental facilities.
Or they're in mental facilities because they lost their mind. And that's why she's saying, listen, don't do anything that can destroy you. You got a future ahead of you. You got a kingdom to lead. You got people to guide. You got to be strong for individuals. You got to make decisions for other people. Right. Don't impair your judgment. And that's why the second thing she said after not giving your strength to women is it is not good that a king should do what?
Drink wine.
You got it, Yeshai?
31 and 4.
Oh, you got it.
I got it.
You got it. Go ahead. Let that go, Yeshai. Hold on.
All right.
Proverbs 31 and 4.
Yeah.
It is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine,
Read on.
nor for princes strong drink.
It says, nor the princes what?
Strong drink.
Anybody in a leadership position that has to make clear decisions, whether you're the leader of a household, whether you're a young man and you got to be the man of the house. A lot of times that's the case. I look at my older brother. I remember at times, and we didn't have the best upbringing, but I remember my brother standing on a chair cooking, frying eggs for us. And he was only in the first grade. He pulled a chair up to the stove and fried some eggs on the stove, and that's how we ate sometimes. And he was in the first grade. I remember when we had to go to the store or we had to go visit my family members. I remember my grandmother putting my brother on a phone book and driving us to our destination, and he was 12 years old. A lot of us are forced to be in adult-like positions and have to make clear sounding decisions. And at an early age at that. You can't afford to be intoxicated. You're the strength of the household. You got to make decisions for the household. You can't afford to be high and drunk. Because sometimes you got to feed the little one. You got little brothers, you got to change diapers at an early age. You know why? Because mama's at work. You got to cook, clean, change diapers, and wake up and get ready for school. You got to get yourself ready for school. I remember one time in the projects I woke up at 3 in the morning. I thought it was time to go to school. Because I had to wake myself up. I got to school, it was 3. I walked to school, it was 3 in the morning. It was still dark. Not even the janitors were there.
Not even the
So I walked back home, and then the sun started coming out, then I walked back to school. You know why? Because you gotta be able to make the sound decisions sometimes at an early age. You may not be a king, but you may be a leader of that house. That's my whole point. You may be a leader of the house, and a leader of a household can't afford to be high or intoxicated. You got to make decisions that's right for the house. Forget what everybody else is doing. You're not going to see the negative effects of their experimental lifestyle until 5, 10, sometimes 20 years later. Then you get to see your peers. And you watch your peers fall away to nothing. Because they didn't have nobody to give them this advice. Or the advice you got right there. Read it one more time.
Proverbs 31, verse 4. It is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink.
Why is that? Go to Isaiah chapter 28, verse 7. Go to Isaiah chapter 28, verse 7. Somebody read that.
Isaiah chapter 28, verse 7.
Why is it not good for a leader, whether a king or a prince or a leader of a household, a man of the household, a woman of the household, to drink wine? Go to Isaiah 28, verse 7. Says what?
Isaiah chapter 28, verse 7.
Everybody get it?
Okay.
Read that.
Isaiah chapter 28, verse 7.
Get your definition of error. Read that.
But they also have erred through wine.
It says our people always err, and you had the definition of err. What's the definition of err? E-R-R. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 7.
To mistake.
They make what?
To mistake.
You're gonna make a hell of a lot of mistakes in life because of what?
Wine.
Because of wine. Wine is the beginning of a downfall. So is any other chemical substance that your body uses to keep it, to tell yourself that I need this to function. I need this to get through the day. All you're doing is preparing yourself to make a lot of mistakes in life.
Right.
Isaiah chapter 28, verse 7 says what?
Isaiah 28 and 7. But they also have erred through wine.
What was the definition of error? Read from the top that you got the definition.
To mistake, to commit error, to do wrong from ignorance or inattention.
What's the first definition?
Oh, the first definition. To wander from the right way.
What is wine gonna make you do?
To wander from the right way.
Read on.
To deviate.
To do what? To deviate. Go ahead.
To deviate from the true course or purpose.
So it tells you what error is. Now read the verse again.
Isaiah 28 and 7. But they also have erred through wine.
Go ahead.
And through strong drink.
And through strong drink. You know what? You experimenting. You're playing with a lot of our people play with a substance that they have no idea how strong and how addictive it is. You playing with a substance that attaches itself to your psychology. You playing with a substance that will tell you need me. It will talk to you at night. It'll talk to you in the daytime. Man, real quick, you're in Isaiah, right?
Yeah.
Hold that in Isaiah. Go to Isaiah 5:11.
Isaiah.
Stay in Isaiah. Hold on.
Chapter
Isaiah chapter 5, verse 11. Read that.
Verse 11.
How strong will this alcohol have an effect and pull on your life? Isaiah chapter 5, verse 11.
Woe unto them that rise up early.
What the hell will alcohol do to you?
Woe unto them that rise up early.
What will alcohol do to you?
Woe unto them that rise up early.
And it will rise up early and do what?
That they may follow strong drink.
It'll have you at the liquor store knocking on the door. Alcohol will attach itself to your body so quickly and so strongly. You'll be up early in the morning. You don't even want breakfast. You don't even want no biscuits and gravy. You don't even want no cereal. You go into the store talking about what time they selling alcohol, what time they start selling out. That's why it's good that some counties don't even have alcohol.
Dry county.
A dry county. That's good. That's good for. You know what people do? They'll drive to another county to go get it.
That's crazy.
People so damn thirsty, they'll make their own damn alcohol, some damn moonshine. They'll cook up their own alcohol.
Prison.
But he said, woe to them that what?
Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink.
So their body has now become so accustomed to the alcohol that they got to have it first thing in the morning. And that's when this person is destroyed, because woe means destruction. That's why it says woe to them. The word woe, W-O-E in the Bible, in Isaiah, that means destruction to the person that rises up early for what?
That they may follow strong drink, that continue until night.
And they start off in the morning, and they keep the party going till when?
Until night.
And they keep it going all day. and all night. They start off Sunday morning, and the excuse is we just gonna barbecue.
Yeah.
You got a beer like
That's
10. It's 10:30 in the morning.
That's
You know I'm gonna
amazing.
turn the pit on.
You're right.
You turning the pit on, but you drinking at 10:30. The football game ain't even on yet till about 3. By the time the damn football game is over, you're over.
That's real.
You and the football game is over.
Uncle Ken. I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't even burning the meat. You ain't even checking the meat because you drunk. By 9 o'clock, you singing songs and you crying. Talking about all the things you've been through in your life.
Nephew. I'm sorry.
I love you. You know I love you. I don't tell you. I don't tell you. I just want you to know I love you, boy.
They get hostile sometimes.
Yeah,
Depending on
yeah.
what the drink do to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But now by the evening time, I'm done. My mind is gone.
Yeah.
That's that hangover verse right there. When you hung over, and then you're like, man, I need another one to balance out.
Yeah.
And then you're getting drunk.
To balance out.
Drink out.
You drink another one just to try to take the hangover away. You know what? Now you know you got a problem. He said you're destroyed by this time. This is what people underestimate the power of this substance. And that's why this first bodyguard is writing about the power of this substance. You can't play with these substances. You can't play with these chemicals. It's better not to even experiment with it. That's why I tell people, if you ain't never smoked a cigarette, smoked weed, don't do it. You never drank, don't do it. You ain't missing nothing.
Nope.
All you're doing is saving yourself some trouble, saving yourself some pain, some embarrassment. Sometimes you save your life.
Bad decision. I'm sorry.
Somebody got to be the sober one. Somebody got to get everybody home. Somebody got to remind everybody what happened the night before. You was half naked. You was throwing up. You was in the car. You was hanging out the window. You got knocked out.
You was on a trampoline on the roof.
You got knocked out. You got beat up. You started the fight. You went home with somebody you don't even know.
Yeah. That's real,
No.
man.
You know we say no. No. You lying. I did that. You lying. Man, I got the video right here. Now you're on camera. Now you got made a fool of yourself, man. Take that down, man. You was butt naked throwing up. Take that off, man. Don't show nobody that.
World star.
Yeah, don't show nobody. Don't show nobody. Now you don't want to be seen because you become an embarrassment. You made yourself an embarrassment. That's how strong these spirits are. That's what they call spirits. Yeah.
Exactly.
So let that go and go back.
Oh,
Yo, finish that.
That continue until night,
Read on.
till wine inflame them.
Until wine does what?
Inflame them.
So wine will inflame you. That's why my Waller said, now you want to fight. Now you strong. Now you got liquid confidence. You got liquid courage. Now you think you can beat everybody up. You can beat the world up. You want to fight everybody. But you know what? Your vision is impaired. Your judgment is impaired. You really think you swinging and you look like Mike Tyson and you get knocked the hell out.
They be swinging all crazy.
Yeah, little dude knocking you out.
Catches
A midget knocking you out.
It's so much emotion, man. Just misguided emotion comes out.
Yeah, now I'm angry for no reason.
You're fighting your own family.
Right.
Your closest friends.
I'm cussing everybody out.
Right.
I'm saying things I want to take back. I wish I would have took back. I'm exposing myself. I make a fool out of myself. And that's why he said, don't even. That's why his mother told King Lemuel, don't even touch it. It's not good for you in your position to indulge in this substance. Go back to 1 Ezra, Yeshaya.
1 Ezra chapter 3 verse 20. Or verse 19. And make it the mind of the king and of the fatherless child to be all one, of the bondman and of the free man, of the poor man and of the rich.
So now you read something that says till it inflames him, right?
Okay.
That's what wine. That's the end result of wine, is that you become inflamed. But before we go here, read Ecclesiasticus chapter 31 verse 30. Read Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. It's in the red Bible. Tell them what page it is. You got it? Ecclesiasticus.
Page 89.
Page 89 in the red Apocrypha. It's in the red Bible. The 14 books that was taken out of the Bible. Page 89 in the red book. Ecclesiasticus chapter 31, read verse 30.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 31, verse 30. Drunkenness increaseth the rage of a fool.
Now watch this. Now, what if I'm already a fool? What if I'm already ignorant?
Woe unto you.
What if I'm already dealing with issues as a man or a woman? What if I'm already dealing with personal problems? What if I'm already fighting depression or anxiety? Or I'm already bipolar? Or I have a chemical imbalance? Or if I'm suicidal? Or if I'm angry? What if I'm already dealing with a pre-existing condition? What if I'm already dealing with something that tugs at me in my conscience? What if I feel guilty? What if I feel unworthy? What if I feel like nobody cares about me? What if I'm already depressed? What if I have a pre-existing condition? It's not just a fool, but what if I'm already dealing with something in my life? Or I have envy. If I have a pre-existing condition that was already there, that I'm already battling, and I add an inflammatory substance to it. If wine will inflame me, then that's adding gasoline to what?
Fire.
To a fire. I'm already dealing with personal problems in my life. I'm already dealing with psychological issues or mental issues. I got to battle this, and now I'm about to add on some alcohol on top of that? What are you doing to yourself? You about to put gasoline on the fire.
Let me pull this definition.
Read drunkenness.
God. Drunkenness in the 1828 dictionary reads 3. Disorder of the faculties resembling intoxication by liquors, inflammation, frenzy, rage.
Drunkenness renders what?
Renders some persons stupid.
It makes some people what?
Stupid.
What is the definition of drunkenness?
Stupid.
It makes you what?
Stupid.
It makes you stupid.
Stupid ass decision.
It says intoxication, inebriation.
A state in which a person is overwhelmed or overpowered.
So I'm already dealing with a mental problem. I'm already dealing with an emotional problem. I'm already dealing with a psychological problem. I got to battle this already in my life, and now I'm about to add on some wine on top of that? It's going to make a state in which a person is what?
Staggers?
No, overwhelmed.
Okay, overwhelmed. Overwhelmed or overpowered with spirit.
So overwhelmed or what? Overpowered. So I'm already battling. Alcohol is just going to tip me over the edge. If I'm already fighting something. Now read that verse in Ecclesiastes chapter 31, verse 30.
Ecclesiastes chapter 31, verse 30. Drunkenness increaseth the rage of a fool.
So a fool is just a person that's ignorant, or untaught, or unlearned. I'm already dealing with problems. Now I'm about to add on some alcohol to it. Now I'm going to be overwhelmed. Now I'll be overthrown. My judgment will really be off. I'm really going to make some bad decisions. It renders a person stupid. That's one of the definitions of drunkenness. It makes you stupid. So now, add my problems with some alcohol, I got a hell of a combination now. I got a hell of a party cocktail going on. I got depression and alcohol influencing me. I got anxiety and alcohol influencing me. What a mixture. That's a bad combination. Because you know what that does? Now it makes me to where I really don't care. I don't care what I say, and I don't care what I do, and I don't care who I hurt.
Makes you bold.
Makes you bold.
Stupid also means senseless.
Senseless. But read on in the verse. Read on.
Drunkenness increaseth the rage of a fool, till he offend.
And what's the outcome of my actions when I mix my own issues with alcohol?
He offends.
I become an offensive person. It's only a matter of time before I offend somebody. Because I wasn't careful what I was saying. I wasn't cautious in my words. I didn't care the impact that my words had on, or effect my words had on somebody. I just cussed them smooth out. Or I made them feel bad. Because I didn't care. Because you know what alcohol made me do? I don't care. and then the person, I leave a trail of just damaged people, broken emotions. I break friendships. I break marriages. I break relationships.
People afraid to even come around you.
They don't want to come around you. Hey man, you been drinking? A little bit. I'll catch up with you next week.
Yeah.
Cause you know I'm not gonna put myself around you no more. Cause I can't trust you. Oh, you been drinking? Bet. Then let me make sure I take your keys. I can trust you. Let me get out the car and call an Uber. I'm not driving with you. Because I can't trust you. I remember driving with this guy I work with. We had a couple beers after work. He had one too many. And we was coming down 35 North. And when you come down 35 North, you get ready to hit Highway 90 going west. It's a sharp curve. You know, everybody know where that curve is? If you don't know, you'll figure it out.
Okay.
Coming down 35 North, connecting to Highway 90, he picked up speed to about 85 miles an hour and hit the curve in a Zuzu Trooper and hit the corner at about 85 miles an hour. The two right tires lifted up off the ground. The two tires came off the ground. We was about to,
sideways.
yeah, the two tires came up off the ground. We about to flip over. I said, man, slow down, man. What are you doing? Oh, I got it. Man, we almost flipped. I got it. I got it. No, you don't got it. You don't know, you do not have it. How the hell are two tires on one side coming off the ground? And you hit this curve at 85 miles an hour. So you don't get a lot of those to where you can conversate about it. It ain't too many times you get out of those situations. And what you gonna tell the family? A lot of times that's manslaughter. A lot of times people kill people on the road and they don't even know. They don't even know what they did. They have no recollection of the events. But they wake up and usually the intoxicated person usually lives. Because what happens is in an accident like that, their body relaxes.
Yep.
And so their body just goes with the accident. And their body just like a slinky. Just go with the accident, boom, bounce back. But the people that stiffen up, usually when they break bones and go through the windshield, craziness. They usually don't make it. Then you wake up drunk, not even knowing where you are. You in a hospital, but you got handcuffs on. And you wake up, what's going on? You don't know what happened last night, do you? Well, you're never going to forget it. Guarantee you that, because the family's pressing charges on you. And you'll be seeing a judge in the morning. And you won't be, your bond is $50,000. Well, what I do? What did I do? You killed a whole family last night. Because you was drunk. Because you made a bad decision. You don't think this happens every day?
Every day.
Yeah.
People die like this every day.
Lost 3 friends like that.
I had one too many. You had one too many. You shouldn't be drinking. You underestimated the power of this substance.
Yeah.
Now you played with other people's lives. You can't even go to the funeral because you're going to be in jail. Fighting for your freedom. Trying to convince the judge, let me do some community service. Let me make up for it. You can't bring somebody's life back. You can't make up for that. You can't bring somebody's life back. You can't bring somebody's kids back, a family you just smashed into.
Okay.
But you're going to say, I'm sorry? You know what you was doing? You was indulging in a strong substance that you had no business playing with. Now you become offensive. You become offensive because you played with something. You was playing with chemicals. It's only a matter of time before he offends. You didn't beat up the kids. You didn't even know you put your hands on the kids. Now you in jail. Child abuse. Didn't even know. Now you got a social worker telling you when you can visit your family. You got a problem. You got to go to rehab. Now and also there's a restraining order on you now. You got a restraining order on you. So now you can't even come within 50 feet of your own kids because when you drink, you don't know what you do. Now you can't even see your kids. You can't come home. Because you lose all awareness, responsibility, and accountability because you want to indulge in alcohol and you think you can control it. That was the lie. That was the deception. You told yourself, I can control it. You can't control this substance. This substance is too powerful. That's why wine has brought down many men. Many men have just been destroyed, and women have been destroyed from alcohol or drugs. It's taken the lives of many people. You can't tell yourself you can play with these chemicals, because once these chemicals are in your body, they're going to lie to you and tell you that you can get out of it. You can control it. Let that go and go back to, you was in Isaiah 28:11, right? Where's you at? Isaiah 5:11. You was in 5:11. Go back to Isaiah chapter 28, I believe. We was in Isaiah, right? Isaiah 28:7. Go back to Isaiah chapter 28, verse 7.
Come. Oh, yeah.
Isaiah chapter 28, verse 7. But they also have erred through wine and through strong drink, are out of the way.
He said they get out of the what?
Out of the way.
They get out of the way. Your mind goes out of the way. Read on.
The priest and the prophet.
It said it don't matter how strong you think you are. It don't matter how great or responsible you think you are. Wine has an effect on who?
The priest.
Hey,
and
you know what? The priest, you may be close to the Most High, but you know what wine will do? Take you away from the Most High. It'll destroy your judgment, even as a priest. No matter how wise you think you are, how smart you think you are, it doesn't matter. Wine has affected everybody's life, from the priest to the president to a king. What Billy Clinton say? I didn't in hell. What you doing? What are you doing as a president with drugs near your face anyway? Why would it be that close to you? Why would it be that close to your mouth? But I didn't inhale it. What is it doing on your lips? Why is it even close enough for you to inhale it?
How did you get it?
Where did it come from? Who brought it in the Oval Office?
Who brought it in the Oval?
Who brought it? Who brought the dank in the Oval Office? Who slipped the bag into the Air Force One? So you in Air Force One like this, man? I got one rolled up already. Well, let's finish this GP meeting, this GOP meeting. Talk with China. I'm gonna need that. After we talk with China, I'm gonna need that. Make sure, Billy, you bring that in the office. Meet me in the Oval Office about 9. After the meeting, we're gonna discuss foreign affairs.
Foreign affairs.
We're gonna discuss some foreign affairs, yeah. And bring Monica Lewinsky in there while you at it.
Okay.
Yeah, bring her in while you're at it, you know, for extra entertainment.
For extra entertainment. That's right.
What are you doing with the drugs by your face? You a president of a nation of at least 500 million people. You gotta make sound decisions in war, in battles, in economy, in jobs, in prison, in welfare, in the workforce, in taxation, education, development, social structures. You got too many decisions to make to be high. Too many people are depending on you in your decision making to be high and intoxicated.
That's when he make his best decisions.
Yeah. That's when people get the most prison sentences. But you know what? It doesn't matter if you're the priest or upper echelon. You got to be careful. It said whether you're the priest or what else?
The priest and the prophet.
A prophet is a teacher. Whether you're a priest or a teacher of the Most High, you got to be careful about the effects of wine. Read on.
And the prophet have erred through strong drink.
And they all have made mistakes. From what?
Through strong drink.
And that wine is nothing but representative of influence. A lot of people are under some type of influence. Your drug of choice may not be wine. Your drug of choice may be TV. It may be music. maybe porn, maybe some craziness, maybe cigarettes. But everybody got to be careful about whatever it is that influences them and what they tell themselves that they need to function. Read on.
They are swallowed up of wine.
They said they are what?
Swallowed up of wine.
They said, man, they're gone. They're overwhelmed. They're overpowered. That's another word we read of inebriated, of drunkenness. You're overwhelmed and overpowered by the substance. You're a full-blown alcoholic or a full-blown drug addict. And you don't even know it. Because you don't tell yourself that you are. You tell yourself you can function. You tell yourself it's okay. I can make it. It's all right. We tell ourselves lies, man. We lie to ourselves. It ain't gonna affect me that bad. I can still get up and go to work. No, you're a functioning drug addict. You're a functioning alcoholic.
That's real, man.
Yeah, but you get up and go to work, but you're sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
You're sloppy. You know how many? I worked in a warehouse before. You know how many people are, because in warehouse work is very laborious.
Yeah.
And it's very intense. And it's long hours. And the guys in there that was in the warehouse was selling ephedra. Ephedra are fat burning pills for people that lose weight. But what it does is it stimulates you, and it's also used to cut cocaine. They use ephedra to cut cocaine. So it's it's 3, 4, 5 times the strength of caffeine. And it gets you burning. It gets your metabolism burning like crazy. That's why people use ephedra for fat burning pills. But it's got your heart racing. You know how many people in the warehouse I seen get their fingers cut off? Because people in the warehouse are driving forklifts and they're palletizing merchandise, and they're so high off of ephedra or stimulants that they were selling in the warehouse to each other to keep each other going, because the work was so laborious, and you got 14 hours to do this job. People need a boost. People would tell themselves, man, if you're tired, man, I got something for you. Man, I got that wake up, man. This was the warehouse talk. Man, you need something, got that wake up. I got it if you need it. 15 a piece. So they got pills. They selling pills in the warehouse to keep you going.
Or they just sell drugs too, because
Oh,
I remember when I was working there too.
Yeah, you worked there too. I ain't gonna say no name, but we worked in the same warehouse. Different warehouses, same company. But you know what they do? But you know what? If you get injured on a job, the first thing they do is take you a cab to the clinic, and you got to take a drug test immediately.
Yeah.
So that's why they would sell over-the-counter stimulants that wouldn't show up on a drug test. That's why they would take ephedra and a few other fat-burning pills that would stimulate your heart and keep you going. But because guys are overexcited, their nervous system is overexcited. They weren't focused. And I seen guys get crushed by forklifts. I seen guys get fingers cut off in the warehouse. And we looking for the fingers. Trying to salvage the fingers to put them back on before they no good. You only got a certain amount of time to put them on some ice. Find them fingers and put them on some ice. So he can make it to the hospital and get them put back on. That actually didn't happen. We took too long to find the fingers. The fingers rolled up under the pallet.
Just drive.
Found them later on. You know why? Because people are not focused. The judgment is impaired. Now you got to shake hands like this for the radio. You're not a University of Texas fan. You're not a University of Texas fan. You're not a UT fan. You don't got no damn fingers.
They gonna edit that on the video.
I know. Go ahead and edit. We need to edit that. I don't want anybody to think I'm throwing up something. You know what? You're not a UT fan. You are fingerless because people were high at your workplace, and you had to lose fingers and you had to lose toes behind. I seen guys break ankles, get crushed by forklifts, get some real damage to their body because people were high, intoxicated. May not just be alcohol, but some type of damn chemical that overthrew your judgment because you was trying to just make sure you make quota. You was trying to just make it through the day. You're on your 5th damn Red Bull. Your whole system is crashing. Your nervous system is breaking down. You can't even focus. Not paying attention. You're overwhelmed. So it may not just be alcohol, but people are always on something. And that's the end result. Read that one more time.
From the top.
Yep.
Isaiah chapter 28 verse 7. But also have erred through wine and through strong drink are out of the way. The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up of wine. They are out of the way through strong drink.
And what caused them to get out of their mind?
Strong drink.
And destroy their judgment? It was the overconsumption of strong drink or influences. It's what I gave myself to. That's why in Philippians, somebody read it real quick. Philippians 4 and 5. Write it down. Somebody read it real quick.
Come. Philippians chapter 4 and verse 5 reads, let your moderation be known unto all men.
Now, in the Bible, it is not unlawful to drink wine. Let me make that clear. Wine is legal in the Bible. You can drink wine in the Bible. But it says, let your what?
Let your moderation.
Give me the definition of moderation. Somebody give me the definition of moderation. You can Google it, look it up. Go to Webster's 1828 dictionary. Somebody give me the definition of moderation.
Moderation. Right here. Moderation. It say the state of being moderate.
It says the state of being what?
Moderate.
Go ahead.
Or of keeping a due mean between extremes.
It says you're keeping a due means between extremes
or excess of violence.
Excess. So I'm making sure that I never get excessive. See, wine is okay, but you're not supposed to take wine to where it's what?
Excess.
It's excessive or extreme.
Okay.
Where you lost your judgment. What you got?
Definition number 1.
You talking about the state of being moderate.
No. Restraint of violent passions.
It says restraint of what?
Of violent passions.
You're supposed to keep your emotions under control, and you're supposed to keep your influences under control. Your emotions and your influences are never supposed to be excessive. Yes, sir.
I got one right here on the etymology. It says the
You gotta speak up. You gotta speak up.
Yeah, kind of. Says the action of lessening in severity or intensity.
So you're lessening the severity or the intensity of that. You're not letting the alcohol make you intense, or you're not allowing it to cause you severity. You're not drinking in excess. Everything is about control. Everything is about self-restraint. Moderation is self-restraint, self-control. That's the definition of temperance. I know. Okay, one, that's good enough. I don't have to be the baddest, baddest drinker in the club. I don't need people patting me on the back like, man, you be getting throwed, bro. You be getting white boy wasted. Man, you be getting your mind blown. You be out of here. That's not a good thing. He said, let your moderation be known unto all men. People are supposed to see you, and if they see you with a drink, they see you using that drink in very small amounts. In very small increments. Because you're aware of the danger. Yes, sir.
Restraint of indulgence of appetite.
Exactly. So that's whether in food, that's whether in alcohol, or that's whether in TV, that's whether no matter what you do, you're supposed to show people that I'm not extremely over passionate and over emotional about something. Or I'm not a hothead. I'm always angry. I'm always got to be the loudest one in the room. I got to be the one banging on my chest and beating on my chest like King Kong. I'm the loudest one in the room because I'm the baddest in the room. You excessive, man. You're doing too much. And that's why it said, let your moderation be known to who?
All men.
Everybody's supposed to see your moderation. Why? Read on.
The Lord is at hand.
Why does it say let your moderation be known unto all men?
The Lord is at hand.
Because who's watching you?
The Lord.
The Most High is watching you. That's why you got to be careful about how you control yourself and what you give your mind to. That's why you can't be excessive. Because the Most High is watching you at all times. He's paying attention to everything you do. Everything that comes out of your mouth, He's watching it. Everything that how he's watching your behavior. That's why I said you got to be moderate. You got to use self-control. You can't be excessive. Wine is not a bad thing, but it has to be used with caution and care. First Ezra chapter 3, Yeshaya, I believe you had verse 20, right? Back to the Apocrypha, First Ezra chapter 3.
First Ezra chapter 3 verse 20. It turneth also every thought into jollity and mirth.
It does what?
It turneth also every thought into jollity and mirth.
And what does wine make you do? It turns every thought into what?
Jollity and mirth.
It makes you laugh. And that's why people start off drinking, because they like the feeling that it gives them. It makes things funny. It makes you laugh. You have a drink or two, you start laughing and joking. If you was a little stiff, it may loosen you up a little bit. It's a mood changer. It changes your mood. It has the effect to change your mood. And that's why I said this. Hold this. Go back to Ecclesiastes 31 and read verse 27.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 31 and verse 27.
Read that. Hold where you at, Yeshai. We're going to go back to First Ezra.
Wine is as good as life to a man.
So why did God make wine? Because he made it, if it's used properly, it's good to a man. Because what does it do for a man? Read on.
Wine is as good as life to a man if it be drunk.
That's a big old if. That if is huge. It says God made wine because it can be used as a benefit to man's life. But that's only if what?
If it be drunk moderately.
If it be drunk how?
Moderately.
So God did make wine for man to drink. But he only made wine for man to drink how?
Moderately.
Moderately. He didn't make wine so you can get plastered, and you can get wasted, and you can get throwed, and you can get perved or bent or twisted or whatever the hell word you want to use. He said he made it as an assistant to help a man's mood, but only if it's drunk in moderation or used moderately. The problem is people drink with no limit. They tell themselves what the limit is. And if you're telling yourself what the limit is, you're in trouble. Because your flesh is always going to tell you one more ain't going to hurt. One more round. Yeah, bartender, give me one more. Let me one for the road. That was the last road you ever going to drive on. Give me one for the road. Yeah, that's one for the road, all right. Yes, and yeah. Fill me up, tip me up. I'm about to get out of here. Tip me up. You know why people crash when they leave the bar? Because alcohol takes a few minutes to enter your system. Your liver still got to break it down, and it still has to enter your bloodstream. So by the time you take that last drink at the bar, you're about 20 to 30 minutes. You're almost home, and that's when the actual alcohol starts to hit you. It's not when you drink it and it's at the bar. It don't go through your body that fast. It's when you start driving and you leave, and you're almost home, and then that's when the wine starts taking effect, and then that's when you start falling asleep, and that's when your vision gets impaired, and that's when you start struggling. That's when your head starts nodding. That's when you start driving side to side on the lane, and that's why it won't be long until you crash, because it takes time to get to your bloodstream. And that's why that last ride, that last drink be the last one ever. And people don't realize that. That's why wine is not a bad thing, but you got to use it how God created it for. He said wine must be drunk in measure or used moderately. Read on.
What life is then to a man that is without wine?
Read on.
For it was made.
It's telling you right now, the Bible is telling you wine was made for what?
To make men glad.
Read it again.
To make men glad.
So if wine was made to make men happy, then why has it destroyed so many people?
Exactly.
Because the word is called abuse. The word is called abuse. And people abuse wine. Just like they abuse everything in life. And they have no self-control. No matter what you entangle yourself with, no matter what you touch, no matter what you taste, or no matter what you indulge yourself in, if you lack self-control, you're going to abuse everything. You know how many people abuse food? You know what that's called? Obesity and gluttony. That's gluttony. Gluttony is when people abuse food. That's when you don't know when to stop eating. That means I have no self-control in the kitchen. I have no self-control at the plate. I have no self-control when I go eat. I got to stuff myself every time I go out. Because I lack self-control. The lacking of self-control is a spiritual issue. The lack of moderation is a spiritual issue. The lack of temperance is a spiritual problem. So no matter what I do in life, if I have a spiritual problem, I'm going to overdo everything. So the food is not going to fix my problems, because some people eat to feel better. Just like some people drink to feel better. Some people smoke to feel better. But if I have a spiritual problem, none of these things that I give myself to, attach myself to, will solve my spiritual problem. Yes, sir.
Verse on the food.
Yes, sir. Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 31 and verse 20. Sound sleep cometh of moderate eating. He riseth early, and his wits are with him. But the pain of watching and choler
is an over excessive of production of bile, black or yellow bile in the body. That's bile is the excretion of waste that comes off the gallbladder and the liver. Read.
And pangs of the belly.
And all these, and when there's too much toxins in your body, you become sick. The bile is the byproduct of food after it's been broken down from your gallbladder, from your intestines, from your pancreas, from your stomach. All these things produce bile. The food is being broken down, and as the food breaks down, the liver, the organs process it. It becomes waste in the bloodstream. When you have an over excessive amount of waste or toxins in your bloodstream, you become sick. You either become arthritic, you become diabetic, you become candidate for stroke or heart disease, you become a candidate for high blood pressure, for circulation issues, respiratory issues. Your endocrine system starts to break down, which is your body's filtration system. Then you have gout. Then you have tumors you starts affecting your pituitary, not pituitary, thyroid. Your thyroid now starts to be broken down because you're working your thyroid too much.
It also alters your mood.
And that's the ultimate point of what happens when you're sick. Choler does change the mood. That's why choler is also called dedicated. It's also looked at as the four humors. It's connected, what's called the four humors or the four passions of man. It causes a physical and mental imbalance. Doctors call your stomach the second brain.
Yep.
Why is your stomach called the second brain?
It controls your mood.
Because it controls your mood. People get hangry.
Yep.
People get upset.
Yeah, now
You happy as hell, and
all of a sudden you angry because you ain't ate nothing. Like, I know your problem. You just ain't ate because you acting crazy, or you acting like a niggard. Because that's what the Bible says too. That's what the Bible says that too.
Yeah.
Give me the definition. Give me the definition of neurotic. Somebody give me the definition of neuroticism.
C.
So, say it. Neurotic. Yeah.
Okay.
Neurotic.
Neuroticism.
Okay, neuroticism?
Yeah.
Okay. Neuroticism. A trait, disposition to experience negative effects, including anger.
It says it's a state of mind, or it's the effect of neuroticism, which includes what?
Trait, right.
It's a trait It's a characteristic of your mind.
Disposition, right.
It's a mind. It's a thought process
Right.
that makes you what?
Experience negative effects, including anger,
Anger,
anxiety,
anxiety,
self-consciousness,
You're self-conscious about yourself.
right.
Go ahead.
Irritability,
Irritability. What else?
Emotional instability,
Emotional instability
and depression.
and depression. Now give me verse 24 of the chapter you got.
Ecclesiastes 31 and 24. But against him that is a negard of his meat,
Let's say it correctly. Against him, who knew that the word niggard was in the Bible? The word niggard is in the Bible. It says, but against him that is a what?
but against him that is a nigger,
You said niggard, like we in England. Like, yeah, it's a niggard.
31 and what?
31 and 24. It says, but of him that is of a niggard, you want to say it in the English accent. So, you know what I'm saying?
I got great
Oh,
pawn over here.
Yeah, you eating grape poupon and croquettes. You know what I'm saying?
Got a monocle.
Yeah, go ahead.
Of his meat, the whole city shall murmur.
It says he's telling you, a person that's a niggard, you know a niggard by the way he eats. The way a man eats can tell you what kind of man he is. He says, but if somebody that's a niggard, read on.
And the testimony of his niggerness shall not be doubted of.
And it says, and when people start talking about him as a nigger, as somebody that's greedy, that's unsatiable, he's telling you the characteristics of this person. They have anxiety. They have what? What is the state of mind? That neurotic.
Emotional instability.
It says the reason why he's a niggard at the table is because he's emotionally what?
Unstable.
He's emotionally unstable. See, if I'm indulging in meat and I'm just stuffing myself, I have a spiritual problem. See, my niggardness and my behavior is associated with a spiritual issue. And you could see a niggard based upon his behavior. Because his behavior is neurotic. And that definition of neurotic is what?
Trait disposition to experience negative effects, including anger, anxiety, self-consciousness, irritability, emotional instability, and depression.
So this person is eating because they're trying to fix their problems. I'm drinking because I'm trying to fix my problems. I'm smoking because I'm trying to fix my problems. But no food, no alcohol, and no smoke is going to fix your irritability, your anxiety, your negative conscious, your self-consciousness about you, your depression. None of these things are going to solve that. None of these things are going to fix that. You can eat all you want, smoke all you want, drink all you want, and none of these things will fix that state of mind. So back to where we was at.
Verse 28, or you want?
Yeah, back to verse 28.
Ecclesiastes chapter 31, verse 28. Wine measurably drunk and in season bringeth
Hold on.
Okay.
But in what? So
and in season.
So is drinking supposed to be done every day?
And in season.
The Bible says wine was made to make men glad. It says, but you're supposed to drink it in what?
In season.
In season. Man, you ain't supposed to drink every damn day. Every day, all day.
And they do it now. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy Tuesday.
$2 Tuesday. Working Women's Wednesday. Turn up Thursday.
Happy hour.
Thank God it's Friday. Happy hour Friday.
Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah, now it's damn near every day. Every day now is a reason to drink. He said you're supposed to do it in season. Every day is not the season. That means you're supposed to separate yourself from it for a while. And that's what people don't understand. And they have no control over that. Read on.
Wine measurably drunk and in season bringeth gladness of the heart.
It says, so wine does have a good effect if it's appropriate. If it's appropriate. Now go back to first, where you was at, Yeshaya. You had First Ezra chapter 3. I think you was either on
verse 20, right?
20. Yeah, verse 20.
First Ezra chapter 3 verse 20. It turneth also every thought into jollity
And that's why wine is made to make men glad, but only in measure, moderately, and only in season. It's appropriate. Read on.
So that a man remembereth neither sorrow nor death.
And the Most High made wine to help you forget a little bit of your sorrow, to help you cope a little bit with pain. Proverbs 31:6 says what?
Proverbs 31:6.
There is a time when wine is appropriate more than others.
Proverbs chapter 31, verse 6.
When is wine more appropriate than others? Read on. Read that.
Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish.
So when is it a time to really give a man some strong drink?
Unto him that is ready to perish.
Man, if you on the battlefield and this guy's body is, his legs are separated from his torso and he's bleeding out and there's no help, then get that man some strong drink. Get that man some, whatever you get that man some strong drink, because you know he ain't gonna make it. He's about to go, and you know he's about to go. Help, that way he ain't gotta suffer. That's when it's good to give somebody wine. They're ready to die. Not every day. You ain't got your damn legs blown off and you got seconds to live. Man, ain't it? Even sometimes you can still be salvaged. But that's when there's a time. It says, give drink to him that's strong drink, for him that's ready to die. What else?
And wine unto those that be of heavy hearts.
So yes, if you just lost somebody in your life, you mourning, you grieving, that may be a time that you want to have a sip or two. Because that's when it's time to mourn. But you know how many people are everyday alcoholics? Because they haven't let go of the death of their mother, their father, their grandmother, grandfather, son, a daughter, wife, whatever, a husband. They become alcoholics because they're still mourning. Even your mourning, if you do lose somebody, which is that is an appropriate time to drink. But even if you do lose somebody in life, the mourning process, the grieving process, is only supposed to be for a short time. Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 38. Verse 17.
Ecclesiastes chapter 38, verse 17.
Read verse 16.
Verse 16.
That's page 93.
Page 93.
93.
Ecclesiastes chapter 38, verse 16 to 17. Read that.
My son, let tears fall down over the dead.
So yeah, if you lose your grandparents, you're supposed to cry for them. You lose a parent, you lose a brother, you lose a sister, you lose a son or daughter, it's supposed to be a time that you may want to pick up a drink. Because that's a time that you're full of sorrow. So yeah, that would be an appropriate season when you lose somebody close to you. Read on.
And begin to lament.
And lament means to cry. Read on.
As if thou had suffered great harm thyself.
Read on.
And then cover his body according to the custom.
And if you lose somebody, go to the funeral. Read on.
And neglect not his burial.
Don't miss the funeral. Read on.
Weep bitterly.
You're supposed to cry. Read on.
And make great moan.
Read on.
And use lamentation.
Lamentation is woeful tears. Read on.
As he is worthy.
Because that person's worthy. Read on.
And that a day or two.
How long are you supposed to grieve the death of your family or friends?
A day or two.
What does God say about being full of sorrow? That for how long?
A day or two.
So if I'm a drink because I've lost somebody, because of the sorrow and the pain that I feel because I've lost a family member or a friend, I'm only supposed to sorrow for how long?
A day or two.
So how long should I be drinking?
A day or two.
Yes, exactly. So if I'm gonna be sorrowing because I lost somebody, then I should only be drinking for a day or two to help. But a lot of people have become lifelong addicts because of what happened 10 years ago.
That's real.
Because they never let it go.
Yeah. Lost my son.
Because I can't get over the loss that I have of my family member. And every time I think about him, I can't get over it, so I'm drinking. No, you're not supposed to drink every time you sorrow. You're only supposed to sorrow for a short time. Therefore, you should only drink for a short time. That is not the answer and the solutions to dealing with somebody you lose. Having grief, I'll never be the same for the rest of my life. That's not what the Most High intended when you lose somebody. To prove that, jump down to verse 18.
Verse 18. For of heaviness cometh death.
Because if you don't let it go when you lose somebody, what's going to happen to you?
Cometh death.
It's going to bring you down. So you have to get over it. You have to get over your losses. And yes, you can use alcohol for a short time while you're grieving, but it's not to be meant to be used every day. Neither are you supposed to be sad every day. It says, for heaviness cometh what?
For heaviness cometh death.
Read on.
And the heaviness of the heart breaketh strength.
What happens if you walk around depressed every day because you lost somebody?
It breaketh strength.
It's going to break you down. How many people are depressed drunks? Or high drug addicts because they're depressed and they got real pain that they have never let go, or they never got out. They never mourned. They never got it out of their system. And they're still battling with these thoughts and these losses. Therefore, they're drinking and they're high every day. You got to go to the root of the issue. Yes, sir.
I had a precept of perspective of death.
Nah, no need it. Let's keep going. I know I'm pretty sure it's good, but we almost done because we only got about 10 more minutes. Okay. Let's finish on up. Let's go back to where we was at in 1 Ezra, Yeshaya.
1 Ezra chapter 3 verse 20.
What page you on? Page 4,
Page
right?
4. It turneth also every thought into jollity and mirth, so that a man remembereth neither sorrow nor death.
Go ahead.
Verse 21. And it maketh every heart rich, so that a man...
You know what it does? It inflames your pride. When it says maketh your heart rich, your mind rich, it's talking about alcohol inflames your pride. It makes you think you're bigger and badder than what you are. You put on this liquid courage. They call it liquid courage. You didn't have a couple drinks, now you think you're Superman. Now you think you're Hulk Hogan. Now you think you're invincible. Now you think you can jump through a wall. You know how many people do stupid damn pranks and jokes? What's that damn show, them white boys?
Jackass.
Jackass. Now you become a jackass, a real life jackass. Jumping off a roof because you thought you could do it, because you was high or drunk.
What was that thing they do, those crate challenges?
Yeah, now you standing on crates. It said it inflames your pride. It makes you make you think you bigger than what you are. It inflates you. You think you're Superman. Read on.
And it maketh every heart rich, so that a man remembereth neither king nor governor.
And it makes you disrespectful. You don't care who you deal with or who you talk to any kind of way. Read on.
And it maketh to speak all things by talents. And when they are...
And it makes you feel like I said, you can do anything. You got all these new abilities now that you're under the influence of alcohol. Now you got all these new abilities. Man, I could beat you we could fight right now. I'm gonna beat you up. And I could race you right now. I'm gonna outrun you. I could do it. Now you got all these new talents because you got this alcohol in your system. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of new talents. I got a whole bunch of new skills because this alcohol is in my body. I bet you I can do it.
I bet you I can done it.
I bet you I can. It don't make no difference. I could jump over this wall. I could jump over this roof. I could do a backflip off the roof. Now you got all these new talents you damn well ain't never had. I bet you I can jump over this car, drive right now, and go about 40 miles an hour. I'm going to jump over the car.
You ain't gonna jump over that.
I'm going to make it over the car. I got hops.
Might go under.
Oh, you couldn't even touch the net. And now all of a sudden you can jump over the car? Watch. Come my way. Hurry up. I'm going to show you. Now you got all these new skills that you know damn well you didn't have. But alcohol will make you do that. Drugs will make you do that. Read on.
And when they are in their cups, they forget their love both to friends and brethren.
And what does wine do to you?
Damn.
They forget their love both to friends and brethren.
They don't remember what the hell they did. I don't remember what happened last night. I did that to you? Are you serious? No, you playing. I told you that last night? Man, oh, forgive me. No, man, you was out of bounds.
Right.
You forgot your love to your friends. Alcohol will do that.
Yeah.
So he's showing you how powerful these substances are and the control and the effect that they have on your life. That's why if you don't deal with it, don't ever. If you haven't touched it, if you haven't done it, if you haven't partook in it, if you haven't indulged in it, don't ever. If you're better off in life, never becoming an alcoholic, never drinking, never touching drugs. I wish I could say that. There's a lot of things I wish I could say I never did. And a lot of times, even for young women and young men, if you're still a virgin, it's better that you wait. You don't have to rush to do what everybody is doing. There's no rush. You know, there's a lot of things when you look back on life, you wish you would never have done. But alcohol was the influence. Drugs was the influence. Peer pressure was the influence. But you got to look at how the Most High looks at these things. You got to share the Most High's perspective when it comes to alcohol and what He made it for. You got to look at the perspective of the Most High when it comes to medicines and how He told you should use them. He didn't tell you herb was for smoke. He told you herb was for meat. The Most High, in the scriptures, He tell you that He said, look at the abomination of my people. They put the branch to the nose. You think smoking was brand new? You think smoking out of a peace pipe? The original peace pipes didn't connect to your mouth. They connected to your nose. And then you would inhale the substance or the chemical or the intoxicant. You would inhale it through the nose. That's in the Bible. Smoking ain't nothing new. Anything anybody is doing on earth is not brand new.
Nothing new under the sun.
There's nothing new under the sun. You ain't going to be the first person to do it. You ain't going to be the last. But you won't be the first dummy, and you won't be the last dummy. Because all of these things in excess makes a man stupid. It destroys kings. It destroys priests, prophets, teachers, or even just a regular old Jake, regular guy in the world. All men have been broken down because of these substances. Ecclesiastes 19, 1 and 2. We're about to wrap it up. Last verse.
Ecclesiastes chapter 19, verse 1. A laboring man that is given to drunkenness.
It says if you are a hard worker, if you work hard, a lot of us are hard workers. A lot of the Most High's people, the so-called Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans, Haitians, Negroes, Jamaicans, Argentinians, Brazilians, all those Canadians, all those of North American, North Central and South America, of African, Negro and Indian descent, all of them are hard workers, bro. They work hard as hell. We know Issachar work hard. Everybody work hard. He said, but a man that what?
A laboring man that is given to drunkenness.
But if you work hard as hell, but you have a heavy habit of drinking, read on.
Shall not be rich.
What will alcohol or influence do with your money?
Shall not be rich.
It don't matter how hard you work. If you're under the influence of a substance or you have a chemical addiction, you are counterproductive to yourself. You're counterproductive to growth. You're counterproductive to ever building something. You can't build anything while being connected and addicted to some substance. No matter how hard you work, you're just going to blow all your substance. All what the Most High gives you will go down the drain. A lot of people, when they compute the amount of money they would spend on cigarettes, at certain times was $5 a pack. Some back in the day, you'd be 2 for $5. Now it's $7 to $8 and $9 a pack. A lot of times when you calculate the money you spent on cigarettes alone, people spend, they end up spending $30,000 in a 5-year span from cigarettes. Think about what $30,000 could have done. After 20 years of smoking, most people save between $50,000 to $75,000 after 20 years of smoking. What could you have done with $50,000 to $75,000? You could have paid your house off. You could have bought many cars. You could have got yourself out of debt, but you smoked yourself into debt. You mean to tell me one person made a cigarette company $50,000 to $75,000, and that's just one person in a 20-year span? What happens when you multiply that by 1 million smokers?
You making a hell of money.
That ain't including the drink that you do to go along with the alcohol. I mean with the cigarettes. Because they usually go hand in hand.
Yeah.
You're just making the alcohol producers and the tobacco producers filthy rich by your addiction. And while you busting your butt, working hard, working 8, 10, 12 hours, 14 hours a day, and you making somebody else rich because of your addiction and your failure to not understand that you shouldn't have any vulnerabilities and let these things influence you the way they do. All your addiction did was just elevate the status of somebody else's economics. While you bust your butt, you give your hard-earned money away to somebody who knows they're making you addictive. They know they're making an addict out of you. And it's too much money to stop. The only thing they do is put a warning sticker on it. May cause premature births. May have a negative effect on the baby if you're pregnant. May cause cancer. About as good as they're going to do is give you a little warning. You ain't reading that damn warning. You too busy trying to get your fix while you throwing your money away. Read that again.
Ecclesiastes chapter 19. A laboring man that is given to drunkenness shall not be rich, and he that contemneth small things shall fall by little and little.
So if you don't, for he that contemneth, let me break that down before we end the class. It says, for he that contemneth small things shall fall little by little. If I downplay, that's what it's saying, if I downplay the effects of influential objects and chemicals, it's not going to destroy me after my first drink. It may not destroy me by my first smoke. It might not destroy me after my first taste or first curious involvement with it. But what it will do is break you down incrementally. And that's what drugs and alcohol do. They break you down in increments. You don't see the damage right away. You see the damage over time. You don't even know that you're an addict by the time that you are an addict.
Yeah.
You don't even know that your relationships are destroyed until everybody's gone away from you and you're alone. You don't see the damage of it instantly. And that's what he's showing you about wine. It doesn't have an instantaneous damage to you, but over time it will damage you. And it destroys you little by little. That's Satan for you.
Okay.
And that's why the whole time you told yourself, I can handle it. It's okay. It's not going to bother me. It's not going to hurt me. I can do this. I can control it. The whole time you lying to yourself, you're being depreciated and destroyed in small increments. It chips away at who you are as a person. It chips away into your mind. The scriptures say wine maketh bitterness of mind. Alcohol, it makes you bitter in the mind. Before you know it, you're an angry, lonely man. Or you're an angry, lonely woman. Full of bitterness and wrath. You didn't even see the damage that it did over a 10-year span, a 5-year span, a 20-year span. See, that's the deception of drugs and alcohol. It may not kill you right off the bat. And that's why people keep playing with it. But the effect is small, incremental, and it chips away at your spirit. It chips away at your flesh. Read on.
Verse 2.
Last verse.
Wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away.
Read that one more time.
wine and women.
If all you care about is influence, drugs, and alcohol, and you too busy chasing who?
Wine and women.
And so when you got these two things are your number one focus, you care about influence, you putting yourself under influence, you care about chasing relationships, for a man of understanding, what happens to that man?
Man of understanding shall fall away,
Go ahead.
and he that cleaveth to harlots will become impudent.
And what happens when you're drinking? It impairs your ability to choose the right woman. Because you done picked up something strange. And then you tell yourself, man, I was drunk. I didn't know what I was doing. You know what happened? Now you got a baby on the way. And then now you got a baby with a woman you only met one night. You only met one night at the bar. And you don't even know who the hell this woman is. And now you got a baby with her. And then everybody looking at it like, man, do you know who you was with? Not really. Because my judgment wasn't there. Man, you don't even know this person. You slept with this person? Really? That was your cousin. You didn't even know because you drunk. Because you don't know what you're dealing with. You don't know what you're doing. Now you done hooked up because you got bad judgment. Same thing with a woman. You was a little tipsy. And you don't even know what happened last night. Now you got an STD. Now you got some type of disease. Because you don't remember. How many times has this happened?
I do those interviews. Probably about 80% of those interviews are kids who they got an STD or an STI because they had some type of influence going on.
You know what? There was tampering and playing with things that they didn't understand.
Yeah.
That's why I said if you got any kind of understanding, you better keep your focus. You shouldn't let yourself be under any kind of influence or control by any substance. Any questions? All right, so with that, we want to say shalom. So shalom, everybody. Y'all have a good night. The water for coming to class. We got class again coming in on Friday and Saturday. There won't be any class next Wednesday, but shalom to everybody that's tuned in with us. And I want to say shalom and shout out to everybody in the isbhpk world, man, that's doing this work, man. Shalom to everybody.